5 months ago, the 14th edition of the Lancaster Barnstormers arrived at Clipper Magazine Stadium in a cold, snowy atmosphere and got ready to take on the Atlantic League. But of course, most guys were here to try and move somewhere else over the course of the season. Unlike 2017, that didn't happen a lot this year. The bulk of this team has stayed together, but they've accomplished a lot, both individually and corporately. The Barnstormers headed to the playoffs this week to take on the Sugar Land Skeeters. Good afternoon, everyone. From Clipper Magazine Stadium, Dave Collins with you via tape as we are honoring the community man and the Barnstormers Player of the Year as voted on by you fans. Garrett Granite's winning one award, Ryan Castile the other. The Barnstormers had a number of guys who could have won both of those awards this season. The Barnstormers will be taking on the Road Warriors today to wrap up the regular season. A win would be the 150th victory for Ross Peoples in his 2 years of managing. And it is also now known that the Barnstormers will be taking on the Sugar Land Skeeters in the playoffs in the first round. Long Island winning last night in 11 innings by a final score of 5-3. And with that locked York out. Long Island will be playing Somerset in the first round. The Barnstormers get the Sugar Land Skeeters. And of course, since it is Sunday, Ross Peoples, my guest on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll be back with the skipper in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hi everyone, Adam Gockenauer here for Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course, all of them are at the best prices around now at Gockenauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
Welcome back to our final regular season edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. My guest today is manager Ross Peoples. And Ross, come to the end of your second season as a manager, and obviously far more success than failure this year, and it's got to make you happy.
Oh, yeah, it's always, obviously, anytime you're successful, you're happy. You know, I'm happy with the guys and the way they played and went about their business, and, you know, it's always a good thing to see, and you know, hopefully, you know, rounding out this last game of the year, hopefully we can take it into the playoffs.
You know, a very odd clinching scenario the other night. Our game didn't matter. We had to wait for Sugar Land to win. Sugar Land did win. Then last night, Sugar Land loses, and it locks Sugar Land into playing us in the first round. It's been a very crazy week and definitely out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it definitely has. You know, there's so many scenarios that goes on in it. That, you know, that's just part of it. You know, it's one of the things why I tell everybody every year that, you know, every game counts and every game matters, because you always get into a scenario like this every year. Every year it becomes a scenario, whether it's a good scenario or not, you know, whether it's something that needs to be done with the league of changing the rules. But, you know, it is what it is, and it's something you got to deal with and something you can't control, so you just, you know, go about it, you know, the way you can. And, you know, I guess the main thing is we're in, and, you know, really don't matter who we play.
You know, you even look at Monday through Wednesday of this week and how out of the ordinary it was with moving the doubleheader to Millersville on Monday, and then a quick up, quick back to New Britain, 3 games in 2 days there. I think everybody was pretty exhausted coming out of those 3 days. It was wild, but again, this team never folded. It was able to at least play 500 baseball during the grind and accelerate a little bit here at the end.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's definitely been a tough couple of weeks with all the doubleheaders, the baseball, you know, just picking up and going over there and playing a couple over there. You know, even before we started all that, we talked about how much of a mental and physical challenge it was going to be, and how, you know, we even called last week grind week because of so much baseball and the traveling and picking up. But the guys did very well with it. They went out there and competed like they always have been. And anytime you playing that much and you're dealing with that much stuff, when you can play 500 ball, you got to kind of be happy about that. But again, we had to do what we can do. We had to do what we had to do to play the games, and luckily we won enough games so we got in.
In a sense, you've had to manage very differently here in the Atlantic League your 2 seasons, because last year it was constantly having to replenish the roster with all the contracts that we had purchased. This year, almost the direct opposite. We didn't lose many guys, but at the same time, you had to keep things from getting stale in the clubhouse, having the same group all year.
It's that can be kind of challenging too. I guess you like to see the guys get picked up and get out of here. So you're happy about those frustrating days. But you started getting them dog days. You can see that a little tension, getting close with each other and all. But our guys are we have a good group of guys. And probably what helps it out is when you're winning a little bit and you're in that playoff push. That helps get through those dog days for sure. But it was kind of the opposite of this year of fixing the roster. This year it was almost came you had to fix the pitching, especially bullpen. So that's what we've been trying to do. We've been trying to, pitching wise, we've been trying to fiddle in there and put some guys in some different spots and see what they can do to see exactly who's going to be our 7, 8, 9 guy going into the playoffs. And if you ask me today, I don't know if I can tell you right now. I have it by tomorrow, but I'm not sure right now if I can tell you. I know one, the closer. That's about it.
You got some new guys in over the past week and a half. Steven Perez, Daniel Corella, we talked a little bit about last week on. Conrad Gregor, you heard the guy swings a mean bat. We've seen it.
Yeah, we heard good things about all 3 of them, actually, and we brought them in here to help us with this playoff push and get to the playoffs, and I think they've done that. We heard good things about Perez, how good defensively he is, just a good little hard-nosed player. Gregor's the same way. I heard he swings a pretty good bat, and even the words we got, he brings his hard hat every day, and you can definitely see that. I think both of them has been a great addition to us. They helped us along this way, and it's exciting to see them in the playoffs. And I think more importantly, they're great human beings, and they fit right in with the clubhouse.
Yeah, heading into this postseason, Game 1, you've decided to go with Jonathan Albaladejo and move Nate Reed to Game 2, or did you change that?
We end up switching it back. Reed's going to be able to come back a little early because he didn't throw a lot of pitches, and plus, I want Reed to be able to come back Game 5 if he can. And, Albie, I don't know if he can right now, much as he's thrown, but Nate wants it, and he wants to come back on 4 days rest, and he knows he will have 1 in 5, so he's excited about that. So, yeah, we'll go Reed, Albie, and Hall.
Fans voted for Ryan Castile as the player of the year on this ball club. Is that something you agree with?
Absolutely. Great. He deserves it. He should get it. You can't say enough about that guy and the things he did. And I remember me and you talking about earlier when we talked about, guys getting picked up and all that kind of stuff. And I remember you shoot me a text and said one guy that it's going to be tough to build from is Castile. And I agree with you. From what he does, what he brings to our team, our table, he's a competitor. He loves to play, he loves to compete, and it's fun to watch, and he definitely deserves it, and probably deserves to win at the end of the year, too.
Well, Ross, thanks for taking time out today. Again, a second great season, but unlike last year, we don't have to be teary-eyed on this final day of the regular season because there's more baseball to play.
You said it. It's funny you said that because when I was walking in, I was thinking about telling JB remember this time last year we was had our heads down. So, it's good to have our heads up and be motivated, ready to go for Tuesday.
Ross Peoples joining me on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll be back with the starting lineups in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Adam Gocknauer back with you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at gockenhours.com.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Here are the starting lineups for this afternoon's season finale. First for the visiting Road Warriors, it will be Osvaldo Martinez leading off. He will be at shortstop. The second baseman batting number 2 is Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz. Edwin Gomez batting third. He is at third base. The cleanup batter is the designated hitter Jose Julio Ruiz. Jorge Fernandez-Diaz batting fifth in right field. The left fielder batting in the sixth slot is Gustavo Pierre. Geraldo Valentin is inserted today at first base. He is batting seventh. Armindo Escobar doing the catching, batting eighth. Anthony Ray is in center field. He is batting number 9. And on the mound, a guy that has given the Barnstormers fits in 2 previous starts, left-hander Andres Caceres. Overall, he is 2-4, but he did throw 5 no-hit innings here at Clipper Magazine Stadium back on the 4th of July. The Barnstormers didn't fare a whole lot better the second time they faced the Queens native. And for Lancaster this afternoon, Darian Sanford leading off in center. Tyler Bortnick will bat second and play second base. Blake Galen is the DH hitting third. The cleanup batter is the right fielder Trayvon Robinson. Conrad Gregor is batting fifth. He moves back across the diamond to third. Casey Hobson will play first base and bat sixth. The shortstop hitting number 7 is Steven Perez. The catcher batting eighth, Anderson De La Rosa. And Carlos Garcia will round it out for the Barnstormers this afternoon. He makes the start in left field. Tyrell Harris on the hill for the Barnstormers today. His record 1-1. Play-by-play baseball comes your way next, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all-you-can-eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Our final game of the 2018 regular season, the Lancaster Barnstormers entertaining the Road Warriors. For the Road Warriors, it literally is the end of the road today. These guys have battled throughout this season through conditions that are not for the faint-hearted, to say the least, and they have made it. They have gotten through 125 games and can always carry with them the fact that they locked the Barnstormers into the playoffs and put a dent in the hopes of the York Revolution with their victory on Wednesday. The playoff field is set. Long Island won in 11 innings last night, well after we went off the air. The Ducks pulling it out 5-3 over the Sugar Land Skeeters. And with that, Long Island clinched the second half in the Liberty Division. Long Island will play Somerset in the first round. The Barnstormers have the Sugar Land Skeeters coming in here to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Tuesday night for the first game of the Best of 5 series. So we look forward to that, but one more piece of business to take care of here this afternoon. Right-hander Tyrell Harris on the hill for the Barnstormers. Harris 1-1 with a 6.11 ERA. This will be his 5th start, 6th appearance overall. He has worked 17 2/3 innings and allowed 20 hits. He has walked 14. They have tended to come in clusters, and he has struck out a boatload. Harris has fanned 25 batters. The 6'3" right-hander from California originally and lived in Knoxville, Tennessee for a good while, and now lists Las Vegas as his home. Will be backed up by Conrad Greger at third, Steven Perez at short, Tyler Bortnick at second, Casey Hobson at first, Carlos Garcia, Darian Sanford, and Trayvon Robinson, the outfielders from left to right. And today, Anderson De La Rosa has the chores in back of the plate. All the autographs have been signed. The full team was out there except for Tyrell, and De La Rosa had to peel off to get him warmed up. But outside of that, the team out there signing the autographs today, greeting the fans, and inviting everyone to come on out on Tuesday night for Game 1 of the playoff series. Here's Osvaldo Martinez, the shortstop, leading off this afternoon for the Road Warriors, batting .258 with 7 home runs and 27 runs batted in. First pitch from Harris, a bit low, says Dave Martinez. It is ball 1 and no strikes. We've got a lovely day. The wind is blowing out. Some puffy clouds, but largely sunny skies, something we have not seen a whole lot this season. Inside for ball 2. Martinez batting 2-0 against Harris. Tyrell has pitched better while the Barnstormers have been out of town than he has here either at home at Clipper Magazine Stadium or over at Millersville. The 2-0 pitch right there, a strike taken by Martinez. 2 balls and the 1 strike. Tyrell played a big role in getting us to where we are now by pitching games at Long Island and Sugar Land, which the Barnstormers won. Chopper toward the middle, racing in Perez. He'll throw on the run and cut down Martinez. Steven Perez with a nice play to start off the afternoon, 1 out. And the second baseman, Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz, will step in. Rodriguez-Ortiz batting .245. He has been a very steady player for this Road Warriors team all along, a guy that seems to fit very well into the number 2 spot in the batting order. He handles the bat nicely, hits the ball to all fields, can be a difficult out. 1 away. The wind by the right-hander Harris, and his first pitch is down and outside. Ball 1, no strikes. 300 down the right field line, 400 to center, 320 down the left field side. Here comes the 1-0 from Tyrell Harris. That is away, and Rodriguez-Ortiz has the early advantage at 2 balls and no strikes. The York Revolution not going to the playoffs this year. They put on a heck of a run down the stretch. Great ball club, just couldn't quite get there. Line drive into center field, a base hit for Rodriguez. 1 out, man aboard. Edwin Gomez, the third baseman, will check in. He's batting .221 with 5 home runs and 34 runs batted in. York 67 and 58, and very well could end up tied for the league's 4th best record. And they actually had the tiebreaker with Long Island. They needed Long Island to lose the final 2 games, and the Ducks simply would not cooperate with them. The annual meeting between Somerset and Long Island will also begin on Tuesday. 1 out. Rodriguez, the runner at first base. Harris to a high set position. He works to Gomez, and this ball is driven to center field. Retreating is Sanford. Darian squaring up on it, making the catch. That is out number 2. Rodriguez darts back into first, and it'll bring on the designated hitter, Julio Ruiz. Julio Ruiz dropped below 300 last night, going 0 for 4 against a sextet of Barnstormers pitchers. It does look like Brooks Hall's going to be okay. His removal from the game was precautionary. They are going to have him fully checked out tomorrow. Daniel Corella will also be fine. It's going to be, unlike what I said last night, Ross is flip-flopped on one particular subject. He's got Nate Reed pitching Game 1 on Tuesday so he can go back on 4 days rest and throw Game 5 on Sunday if that is needed. Lob throw over to first base. Rodriguez-Ortiz back in. Jonathan Albaladejo will throw Game 2 here on Wednesday, and then he's going to use Brooks Hall and Joe Gardner for the first 2 games in Sugar Land and come back with Reed if we go all 5. Here's the pitch and a strike on the lefty slugger Julio Ruiz. It seems amazing to me that this guy only has 4 home runs on the year because he's crushed 2 out of here. 2 outs. Rodriguez held at first base by Casey Hobson. Tyrell Harris back to work. And the offering, Julio Ruiz chases a pitch outside and low. Got fooled by the changeup from Harris. And it is no balls and 2 strikes. The second baseman, Bortnick, is not playing second base at the moment. He's playing shallow right field. And Trayvon Robinson, deep right field. Julio Ruiz pulls the ball a lot, and he's not the fastest guy. Here's the 0-2, swung on and missed. He goes down chasing. Harris has him fooled twice in a row in the inning. No runs on 1 hit with no errors and 1 man left on base. At the end of half an inning, it is the Road Warriors nothing. The Barnstormers will be stepping in.
You can measure the power of the Lexus LS500's twin-turbocharged engine, the responsiveness of its adaptive variable suspension, and the clarity of its available 23-speaker audio system. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling only a Lexus can bring at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, with exceptional offers on our most luxurious models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
So, John, what should the Eagles' focus be this season?
Eagles Fast Play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Eagles Fast Play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Eagles game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
I was away taking care of club business. But now it's Andres Caceres on the hill for the Road Warriors. He's a native of the borough of Queens in New York City. 6'3", 205-pounder. He is 29 years of age. He has never pitched in a major league organization. And the Barnstormers might have thought, fresh meat back on July 4th. Didn't exactly work out that way. He pitched a no-hitter for 5 innings. And combined with Cruz, to have a rain-shortened no-hitter overall in a ball game that was rained out after 5.5. Caceres faced the Barnstormers again back on August 7th, and a little bit more success. Gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings. A little more success for the Barnstormers, that is. Now, Caceres facing Darian Sanford, Tyler Bortnick, and Blake Galen in the bottom half of the first inning. Edwin Gomez at third. The shortstop is Osvaldo Martinez. At second base, Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz, Geraldo Valentin at first, Gustavo Pierres in left, Anthony Ray in center, Jorge Fernandez-Diaz in right field. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner to Sanford. It's 0-1. Hermindo Escobar doing the catching with the lefty Caceres on the hill. Southpaw ready to go. Here's his 0-1. That is outside, a ball and a strike. The Barnstormers have pretty much handled the Road Warriors very well this weekend. They have outscored the travel squad 25-2 and 45-6 over the last 5 meetings. Here's a pitch to Darian. That is inside and ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. The Road Warriors winding down. They have won 29 and lost 96. I'm sure they would like to get that 30th win under their belts today. No score, bottom of the first inning. To Sanford, 2-1, outside and low. The edge to Darian at 3 balls and a strike. Now, the Barnstormers are 11 away from the league stolen base record for a single season. They have the highest rate of stolen bases in league history, but 14 fewer games this year, costing the Barnstormers the record. There's ball 4 to Sanford. So we're going to see how many the Barnstormers can get in today without embarrassing the Road Warriors if it comes to that. 253 stolen bases, including 80 for the man who just reached first base on the leadoff walk. Another developing story this afternoon, the man stepping in, Tyler Bortnick. He's had quite a year. He's batting .199. Now that may not sound like much, but he's walked over 60 times. He's been hit 17 times. He's been on base a lot. Sanford takes off. The pitch is taken for a ball. Throw down to second base is not in time. That is number 81 for Darian Sanford. Escobar didn't even try to get up the throw. He threw from his crouch. Didn't get enough on it. Sanford is in. And Tyler Bortnick will bat with a runner in scoring position. That's part of why Bortnick may not be batting higher than he is. He's had to take so many pitches to let Sanford go, but that's part of batting number 2 in the lineup. It is very often a sacrificial spot in the batting order. Your job is to advance the leadoff runner, not necessarily get the base hits yourself. That's more traditional baseball, and Ross, let's face it, is a traditionalist. Ball 1 and no strikes to Bortnick. Blake Galen waiting on deck. Sanford bobbing around off second base, and finally Caceres cocks his wrist. That's enough to send Sanford scurrying for cover. 1 ball and no strikes on Bortnick. He has 6 home runs. He's driven in 42. The pitch to Tyler, taken for a strike, and the count levels at 1-1. Hard to believe we have reached game 126. It was about 5 months ago, 5 months and 2 days, some 22 weeks ago, that this team first arrived here in Lancaster. And most of them, unlike other years, most of them are still here. It has been an odd year. The Barnstormers have gone through relatively very few players here in 2018, especially compared to other seasons. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sanford, again, trying to work on the head of Caceres, who simply works to the plate. He is inside and low. Bortnick bats 2-1. If Tyler goes 1 for 3 today, he'll get his average to 200 for the season. And we'll see what Ross does should that happen. If he goes 1 for 4, he'll finish at 199. It's that delicate. 2 balls and a strike. Bortnick awaiting the pitch. There's a line drive out the right field, played by Fernandez-Diaz. Another story of the season for Tyler Bortnick. 1 out. Sanford still at second base. Blake Galen comes to the plate. Galen has dropped the .279, 26 home runs leading the league, and he has driven in 88. He's tied for the RBI lead with York's Melky Mesa, and he leads by 2 over David Washington of the Long Island Ducks in the home run chase. So we'll probably look at having another Atlantic League home run champion as a Barnstormer. It's become almost an annual thing. Again, Caceres has to bluff the runner back to second base. Sanford always in the head of a pitcher whenever he's out there. Galen digging in against Caceres. Pitch is into the dirt, knocked down by Escobar. Ball 1, no strikes. Trayvon Robinson is on deck. More recently, Trayvon has been cooled off left-handed and red hot from the right side of the plate, and is actually, for the season now, batting for a higher average right-handed. The left side has been ahead most of the way. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Galen. It's given a lot of room out in left center field. Caceres looking back to Sanford, now to the plate, and Galen will look at a strike on the inside corner. It is 1-1. The left fielder, Pierre, is playing fairly shallow and toward the line. The center fielder, Ray, is cheating toward right center. There's a lot of room out there in that gap, and Galen will find it from time to time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blake is playing in his 126th game of the year. That in itself is an accomplishment. Ball 2 is outside and low, 2-1. To be in there every game. He's not started 3, but he has worked his way into every one of those contests. Truthfully, Cal Ripken Jr. didn't start every game either in that 2,600-plus game streak, but he got into every one. There's a pickoff throw to second. Sanford is back in. Caceres and his shortstop Osvaldo Martinez made that a close play. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Galen. The set by Caceres again. He focuses back on Sanford briefly, and time is called at home plate as Galen grows impatient. All part of the game. Galen batting 2-1. Runner at second base with 1 out. Breaking ball settles into the zone nicely. Caceres and Galen are even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster has had so little success against Andres Caceres. 1-0, 3 hits allowed in 10 1/3 innings. He'll bluff Sanford back to second base once more. The fans, and obviously the sound system, getting a bit irritated. But it's Darian Sanford with 81 stolen bases. You've got to pay attention to him. To Galen, swing and a miss, a high inside fastball. Sanford still at second base with 2 outs. Trayvon Robinson will come to the plate. Robinson, 294 overall with 7 homers, 49 runs batted in. He's got an outside chance at finishing over 300, but he has to have a big day. It could start here and produce the game's first run. You know, watching Caceres and considering the success he has had in this ballpark, you wonder if he's drawn any interest from Ross Peoples for next year. I mean, he has just dominated as much as any pitcher in the league has while working in this yard. To Robinson now, a check swing, but a foul tip, and Caceres gets ahead at 0-1. Andres Caceres, a guy who seems to hide the ball pretty well. His overall numbers are all right. But boy, when he has pitched in here, he has been something special. 0-1 to Robinson. Sanford inching his way off second. Caceres glances back. Sanford will take off for third. And did they charge him with a balk? They did in the middle of it. Oh, Sanford's speed won't net him his 82nd stolen base. But Caceres, with Sanford on the move, did not break contact with the rubber. 2 outs with the man at third. 1 strike, the count on Robinson, and now the umpires are going to discuss it. Now, Darian could be sent back to second here theoretically. And they're going to. So the balk call is overturned. And Ross Peoples now gets an explanation. Knowing Darian, he's now going to try to steal third base himself. And render all of this discussion moot. Trayvon Robinson has a strike in the count. And with 2 outs in the inning, whether Sanford's at second or at third is not a huge difference, not like it would be if there were only 1 out. So there will be no balk, and Ross is still trying to figure out why. And the explanation given to him by the third base umpire and crew chief Freddie DeJesus. Darian moving to second base, suffice it to say, a lot more slowly than he generally would move from second to third. He really didn't want to give up that bag. 0-1, the count on Robinson. The balk is erased. Robinson trying to pick up the first run of the afternoon. No score, bottom of the first inning. Andres Caceres looking back to second. He'll come to the plate. Robinson holds on the swing on a pitch away. Ball 1, strike 1. Sanford led off with a walk on 5 pitches and very quickly stole second base. But the offense is stalled from there. Bortnick is lined out. Galen is struck out. Ball 1, strike 1, the count to Robinson. Sanford takes off. The pitch is a called strike, and he stole third base anyhow. That's 82. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Robinson. He still needs to get something done to get the run home. 82 stolen bases. Did you ever think we'd have a guy who could do that? He has 127 stolen bases now in 183 games as a Barnstormer. That's something pretty special. Robinson awaits the 1-2. Caceres to the plate. That is cut on and missed. The Barnstormers failed to get the run home anyhow. A lot to do, but Darian Sanford never able to get home from third. No runs, no hits, no errors. The one man left on base. At the end of an inning, there is no score.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Tyrell Harris will pitch to Jorge Fernandez-Diaz. He'll lead off the top of the second inning. Fernandez-Diaz batting .243. He has 11 home runs. He has driven in 36 for the season. Switch hitter batting from the left side of the plate against the right-hander Harris. He fires a check swing, foul into the net. One strike to the Road Warriors right fielder. Road Warriors scoring a run in each of the first 2 games of the series. Upstairs, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. In these first 2 games, they have not picked up an extra base hit. Edwin Gomez has driven in 1 run, and Melvin Rodriguez the other. The next offering here, slapped down the left field line, but curling foul into the Road Warriors bullpen. Harris has the advantage in the count at 1-2. Gustavo Pierre, the left fielder, waits on deck. And then Geraldo Valentin, the first baseman. You're going to see some of these Road Warriors in other Atlantic League jerseys next season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside for ball 2. 2-2. On Fernandez-Diaz. Man from Yabucoa, Puerto Rico. Ground ball, second base. Routine for Bortnick, right at him and softly hit. He throws on. Fernandez-Diaz is retired, 1 out, bringing on Pierre. 257 hitter is Gustavo Pierre with 13 home runs. He has driven in 42. How did this season go by so fast? It doesn't seem like that long ago when we opened up in York. Down and in for a ball, 1-0. The count on Pierre. This ball is hit high in the air to right field. Trayvon Robinson backing up on it, onto the track. He'll handle it. Pierre retired for the second out. Trying to go oppo here at Clipper Magazine Stadium with 2 down. Here is veteran minor leaguer Geraldo Valentin. Valentin can play just about anywhere, but mostly he has been at first and second for Ellie Rodriguez this year. Last week, Geraldo turned 36 years of age. Pitch is way inside from Tyrell Harris. Ball 1 and no strikes. And Valentin has amassed quite a travel log. Last year he was in Cleburne, Texas. And this year, just enjoying the sights of the Atlantic League. Line drive, there's a base hit out the left field. Chasing it down, Carlos Garcia. Valentin is around first and holding a 2-out single. Brings on the catcher, Hermindo Escobar, a .218 hitter with a home run and 9 driven in. How difficult must it be to be a Road Warrior from start to finish? It might be something that you would take on for a couple of weeks and then be, I'm not sure this is the lifestyle I signed up for. But the bulk of this club has been there all year. 2 outs. Valentin, the runner at first base. The offering to Escobar grazes the outside corner for strike 1. The likes of Flecha Stasio, Baez Poole, Rivera Alicea, Ortega, Andrew Johnston, Kelvin Villa, Osvaldo Martinez, Gustavo Pierre, Melvin Rodriguez Ortiz, Jorge Fernandez-Diaz, Edwin Gomez, Anthony Ray, Geraldo Valentin. I think that is the list of guys who have stuck it out for the entire year. Wow. Hats off to them and their love for the game. A ball is low, 1-1. You never have the crowd behind you. You always have to bat first. except for one game in Sugar Land. The Skeeters folks were kind enough to let the Road Warriors be the home team. We would have done the same thing this weekend if we had won the playoff spot earlier. Fly ball foul down the left field line and up into the seats. Ball 1 and 2 strikes on Escobar. Ellie Rodriguez has managed this club for the entire season. He has gone through a couple of different henchmen, whether pitching coach or hitting coach or whatever. Gabe Suarez here in the second half. Started with Rafi Montalvo, then Chris Tribett before he got hurt. Runner goes, the pitch grounded on the left side. Into the hole goes Perez. A long throw, but he's got the arm to do it. Escobar retired 6-3. Nice play by Perez. No runs on a hit, no errors. One man left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning in a scoreless battle.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
You can measure the sound of the Lexus LC500's naturally aspirated V8 engine and the quickness of its 10-speed transmission. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus high-performance line at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most exhilarating models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Bottom half of the second inning coming up, and once again, as is my tradition, on the final day of the season, pass along my gratitude to a number of different folks. First of all, our ownership group, Bob and Steve Zuckerman, Ian Russo, and Rob Liss. To work for those four guys, I would wish that everyone who's employed in this world could work for a management team, whether we're speaking about those four or Kristen Simon and Mike Reynolds, who treat their employees as well as that group does in a business that is very, very, very difficult. And whether it's the presentation of my occasional cup of black raspberry ice cream, it's a standing thing between me and Bobby Zuckerman, but just a wonderful, wonderful group of people. They had the great reputation with their staff over at Clipper Magazine. Now, of course, the ownership group with the Lancaster Barnstormers, and they just do it right. They treat their people with respect and with dignity. Meanwhile, as we look out onto the mound, Andres Caceres is coming out of the ball game, and the Barnstormers are going to have to contend with a right-hander. Something happened with Caceres in his warm-up throws here for the second inning, and they had a pitcher warming up during the first, so all along the situation with Caceres was not great. He comes out after throwing one scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts, and the bullpen gets the call, and it is the player coach, Julio DePaula, taking over out there for the second inning, and he's had to do a little of everything over the last week or so. But this has been a great place to work for these 14 seasons. And yeah, hopefully I got a few more in me. But it was revitalized by the group that I mentioned. And gladly it was. It is so tough, as people know, to not only get a ballpark like this built, to run a franchise where you don't have the backing of a major league organization. You have to do it all yourself, ordering equipment, paying players, getting uniforms, and so on down the line. And payroll, insurance, everything that comes with having a baseball team on the field. And that's all done here. It's not done with the backing of any major league organization. And then to be able to keep it going for not just 14 years, but hopefully another 14 and beyond here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's tough to keep the ballpark looking fresh, and that has been done very well also. So hats off to the management team, the four owners, General Manager Mike Reynolds, Vice President Kristen Simon here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. What a great job once again. My co-workers in the front office. I'm old enough to be the parent to all of those kids in there, or so it seems, most of them anyway. And except for Mo. Mo and I are contemporaries. But I'm old enough to be the dad to the rest of them. And they're just a great, great bunch of young people. So anybody who has any concerns for the future, you should get to spend some time with those folks. First pitch from DePaula, inside and low to Conrad Gregor. Ball one, no strikes. Conrad has batted safely in all 4 games he's been here. 6 out of 16. The next pitch from DePaula reaches the inside corner, a strike taken. And to Gregor, it's 1-1. Casey Hobson on deck, and then the shortstop, Steven Perez. Julio DePaula taking over for Andres Caceres here in the second inning. Gregor swings, hits a line drive. Up for it goes Valentin to make the catch. Gregor hitting another ball very well. Valentin equal to the test. He needed his entire 6'1" frame to reel that in. Here's Casey Hobson batting .237 now with 10 homers and 44 runs batted in. 1 out, nobody on, lower half of the second inning. Runs not as abundant for the Barnstormers here in the series finale. They had 8 runs on the board by the end of the second here on Friday and 2 last night. Nothing developing, at least not as of yet. DePaula's inside to Hobson, 1-0. Julio DePaula from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He is 35. Spent a number of years in York. He's also been with Sugar Land. Ground ball pulled foul. Hobson batting at 1-1. Defense straight away in the outfield, playing Hobson to pull in the infield. Foul back. And to KC, a ball and 2 strikes. Hobson reaches out, pokes a fly ball down the left field side. That is going to curl foul up onto the hill. DePaula still has him in the hole at 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score, lower half of the second inning today on a beautiful sunny, maybe mostly sunny, partly cloudy, whichever you prefer, Sunday afternoon. Last Sunday of the summertime. Line, that's a fair ball down the right field line into the corner. Hobson managed what Gregor couldn't, and that was getting the ball over the head of the first baseman, Valentin. Casey cruising into second with a double. His 9th of the year, runner in scoring position. And here is Steven Perez, the shortstop, batting .229 with 5 runs driven in. Another group I would like to thank, and they've made my summer very special, and that is clubhouse manager Emmanuel Williams and his crew. Even seeing Beamer and Ike still from a couple seasons back, occasionally Tom Herr, last year's clubhouse manager. That is the ultimate thankless job, is running the clubhouse. Emmanuel has assembled a team to do it. He's done a great job. Young man from Virginia. He's moved up here, got married during this season, pitches a little bit outside to Perez. Ball one, no strikes. And the Bat Boy crew. One ball and nothing. Swing and a miss by Perez. A ball and a strike. Anderson De La Rosa, the catcher, due next. One and one. Hobson leads off second. Breaking ball, low and outside to Steven. 2 balls and a strike. Barnstormers, for the second straight inning, advancing a runner into scoring position. They couldn't get Sanford home in the first inning. Try and get Hobson home here in the second. 2 and 1. And a Perez ground ball on the right side. It'll advance the runner, but become the second out as Rodriguez feeds Valentin. Hobson to third with 2 gone. This inning is up to the catcher, Anderson De La Rosa. De La Rosa on maybe his hottest streak of the year at the plate. On a 4-game hitting streak, 7 out of 14 during that stretch. And he has boosted his average to 226. 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. A man who has become part not only of this team, but this community. Moving his family here. The conditions in Venezuela are, as you know, fairly difficult these days. Well, he and wife Laura and son Sammy have made Lancaster their home, and they love it here. 2 outs. Hobson, the runner at third base. De La Rosa takes a breaking ball low. Ball 1 and no strikes. Need a base hit or a mistake. With 2 outs in the inning. Fastball inside. Turning De La Rosa around. Anderson will bat at 2-0. Carlos Garcia, the switch-hitting utility man playing left field, is due next. Here comes the 2-0. De La Rosa goes for it and misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. When it looked like we might play Somerset in the first round, I said that Carlos Garcia would have to become this year's Yusuke Kajimoto, as the roles are fairly similar, though Kaji probably played a bit more third base than Carlos has. De La Rosa, fly ball toward the left field line. Over goes Pierre. He'll be there to handle it. No runs on a hit with no errors. And Casey Hobson left at third base. We're through 2, and there is no score.
Special prize courtesy of the Barnstormers, and we'll be doing that right now. The first.
The area's most unique beer fest is coming to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Sunday, September 9th during the Barnstormers game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That afternoon, samples from over 20 local breweries will be made available throughout the right field hospitality areas. Souvenir pint and sample glasses and a Broken Bat hat will go to everyone buying a ticket. VIP tickets are available for early entry and limited releases. For more information, go to www.lancasterbarnstormers.com.
So, John, what should the Steelers' focus be this season?
Steelers fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Steelers fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Steelers game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Into the top half of the third inning this afternoon, Anthony Ray, the center fielder, preparing to lead off against Tyrell Harris. Harris has been reached for a harmless single in each of the first two innings this afternoon. The Barnstormers have had the better opportunities, but after going 9 for 19 with runners in scoring position last night, Lancaster 0 for 5 so far today. Barnstormers in about 53 hours will be hosting the Sugarland Skeeters in Game 1 of the Best of 5 Freedom Division Series. Wednesday night will be here. Thursday is a travel day. The Barnstormers will be flying down Thursday evening. I do not know what the Sugarland flight arrangements are. I don't believe we're on the same plane. Anthony Ray taking a ball outside, 1-0, and will stay in Sugarland for the duration of the Best of 5 series. So be sure you're tuned in here to the Barnstormers YouTube channel. We'll have it for you. Bouncing ball, second base, charging in Bortnick. He'll throw out Ray. Fourth ground ball out, picked up by Tyrell. 1 out as Valdo Martinez steps in. He grounded out to Steven Perez back in the first inning. And what a great day. Where have these days been all summer? We had to wait till the final weekend of the season to get nice weather. It's been absolutely stellar last night and today. Somebody asked me how the weather was here last night. Somebody from out of town. I said, best we've had all year. Martinez takes a pitch outside. Ball 1 and no strikes as we again pass along our thank yous to young fellas who have been invaluable to me this summer. Andrew Mossbrooks, the recent graduate from Millersville, who now goes on to work for the Philadelphia Flyers in a media capacity. Ball 2 is down low, 2 balls and nothing, managing the press box and doing some side work on the broadcasts. And Joey Greer, who's, I think, become the ultimate Barnstormers fan over the past couple of years, started off contacting us to see if he could start up a Barnstormers blog, which he still has going, and he's been my PR assistant throughout this season. He has done a bang-up job. Because I need to have somebody I don't need to remind to do things, and Joey's been that guy. He often reminds me. 2 balls, 1 strike on Osvaldo Martinez. Harris comes back, and he is low, 3-1. Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz waiting on deck. No score in the third inning. Last game of the regular season. A win today would be Ross Peoples' 150th as manager. Inside, ball 4, and a 1-out runner aboard here in the third inning for the Road Warriors. Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz stepping in. He singled up the middle back in the first inning. The concessions folks here, Chef Bob and Lewis and everybody, they do a terrific job as well. 1 out, runner at first base. Rodriguez-Ortiz stepping in. The Barnstormers have been terrific at turning over double plays lately. Harris comes to the set. Rodriguez shows bunt, takes a pitch low. Handled by De La Rosa. No movement on the part of Martinez, who has stolen 7 in 14 tries on the year. Ray and Pierre have been the 2 biggest base stealers with 14 apiece for the Road Warriors. But they've got some other guys who can take them from time to time. Martinez would fall in that category. 1 ball and nothing to Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz. Harris working out of the slide step, comes to the plate. That ball is sizzled to Bortnick. He's got it. This could be 2. Perez 1. Hobson for the double play. 4-6-3. They turn it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Another DP for the Barnstormers. And through 2.5 innings, we remain scoreless here this afternoon.
You can measure the exceptional torque of the Lexus LX and the capability of its full-time four-wheel drive. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus line of SUVs at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most capable models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments in honor of the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Second inning of work for Julio DePaula this afternoon. He'll be facing Carlos Garcia, Darian Sanford, and Tyler Bortnick. Also some folks to thank for this year, the crew from Blue Ridge Cable 11. Jamie Wechter, Jason, Jeremy, all the camera crew, John on sound. Always tremendous. They do about half the home games and most of the home games from May to August. Here's Carlos Garcia. He looks at a fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. Garcia batting .270 with one home run. He has driven in 20 on the campaign. The windup, the next pitch, slashed into left field, a base hit. Garcia on to start the third inning, and you may see some fireworks on the bases here also. Garcia, if he played every day, might be right up there with Darian and Rico. Carlos has stolen 20 in 23 tries. Darian Sanford comes to the plate. Sanford walked back in the first inning as a right-handed hitter. He's in left-handed now against DePaula. Garcia held by Valentin over at first. DePaula will fire in Carlos's direction, and Garcia is back in standing. Josh Bell coaching first. Ross Peoples over at third. Outfielders is the norm, very shallow against Sanford. The pitch to Darian is down and away. Ball one, no strikes. I wonder if today would be the day that Darian would try and swing for the fences. Last day of the season, he almost got one out early at Southern Maryland, and he did hit one here during spring training. Hasn't come close in over 4 months. Here's the pitch, and Sanford will look at a strike. Some delay on the call by Martinez. It is 1-1 to Sanford. Bottom of the third inning, leadoff man on for the Barnstormers for the second time in the game. Lancaster hasn't been able to work anybody around. Tyler Bortnick waiting on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike. The high set by the veteran DePaula. He'll come to the plate, and Sanford takes strike 2. Scoreless battle in the bottom of the third inning. Barnstormers will rest up tomorrow, knowing this crew. Some of them will be working in some way, shape, or form. They'll be in the gym, they'll be in the cage, they'll be out running, they'll be throwing, but I don't think anything formal is planned. Runner goes. The 1-2 pitch is beaten foul at home plate. Garcia has to retreat. Still a ball and 2 strikes. I'd like to thank all the folks in the media in the area, TV stations and LNP. nobody here every day anymore. Bert Wilson was at the game last night. It was so great to see him. Now that he's working the desk in the mornings, Bert and I forged a great friendship over the years, working together in the press box. We would be the two soldiers here late after games. 1 ball, 2 strikes, throw the first. Garcia once again is back in. And we've had a number of very diligent and likable people representing LNP over the course of the season. Of course, our local TV stations as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sanford. Poked foul. The screen catches it along the third base line, and Darian's still up there batting at 1 and 2. Deb Heisey, our travel agent and Barnstormers season ticket holder, she makes my life so easy with those Sugarland trips. They're, for the most part, worry-free. 1 and 2. The count to Sanford, because I'm not the one getting up at 6 in the morning to check the team in on the Southwest flight. She is. She handles everything, all the paperwork, the reservations, getting the boarding passes together. I just have to handle everything at the airport. Here's the 1-2. Knocked out to right field. Fernandez-Diaz will be there for the catch. Garcia ducks back into first. Well, a similar start to this inning as we had in the first, except by this time Sanford had stolen second base. Here's Tyler Bortnick. He lined to right field his first time up. I'm not sure that I have ever wanted someone to get a base hit more than I do here, at least in a meaningless game. 0 for 1 for Bortnick here this afternoon. Garcia, the runner at first with 1 out. Carlos takes off. They pitch out. Escobar, though, a high throw, ends up in center field. Garcia is going to race for third. The throw from Ray will be late, and it took a leaping stop by Edwin Gomez, who's a pretty tall guy, to bring that one back. Garcia is 21st, goes to third on the throwing error. And the Barnstormers, for the third consecutive inning, move a man into scoring position. 1 ball and no strikes to Bortnick. And they're now 8 away from the league's stolen base record. Infield is going to play in here. DePaula to Bortnick. Inside, Tyler almost got hit again. He's tied for the franchise record in HBPs. And it is indicated that it's 3 balls and no strikes now. Here's the pitch. Bortnick swings away and slices a foul around the corner of the building.
That's another broken glass foul ball presented by PKC.
I guess that is 2 and 1. Scoreboard had the 3rd ball up momentarily. 2 balls and a strike to Bortnick, so I was right in the first place. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 recorded on the outside corner. Galen waiting on deck. Lancaster trying to bring that first run across. It's been somehow very difficult this afternoon. Bortnick pulls a soft line drive, left center field. It'll be in for a base hit. Around first, holding on is Bortnick. Home to score is Garcia. The Barnstormers are up by a run, and Blake Galen will step in. And that puts Tyler Bortnick over the 200 mark. Now, he has 1 at-bat to work with. I wonder if Ross will pull him at some point. He's got some options here today. Glad to see it for Tyler Bortnick. Galen steps in, a strikeout victim against the lefty Caceres back in the first inning. Here's the pitch to Blake. It is low. Ball 1, no strikes. Galen has been pretty quiet since a 2-run homer to open the 14-run attack on Friday night. He has 1 hit since then. 1 out. Bortnick the runner at first. DePaula set, ready to go. And again, he misses to Blake Galen. Ball 2 and no strikes. Trayvon Robinson in the on-deck circle. 1-0 Lancaster, bottom half of the third inning. Fastball in there. Galen taking, and it's 2-1. You know, a win today also, besides being Ross Peoples' 150th, would make this the third best Barnstormers team in the regular season in franchise history, behind 2012 and 2006. Line drive toward the gap, right center field. That is in for a base hit. Ray will cut it off. Bortnick is going to wheel and head to third. He will make it as the throw bounds in to Gomez. A line single to right center for Galen. The Barnstormers pick up their third hit of this inning. And Trayvon Robinson comes to the plate with men at the corners and one out. Robinson struck out against Caceres back in the first. The Barnstormers having a good deal more success against DePaula. Lancaster has hit left-handed pitching, especially here in the second half, a lot better than they did earlier in the year. And in fact, the average against lefties in general is higher now than it is against right-handed pitching, but that's not the case with Caceres. That guy had the Barnstormers lineup completely bamboozled. Outside, not by much, and ball one to Trayvon. Bortnick at third, Galen at first. One man retired here in the bottom of the third inning. One home, and the Barnstormers threaten for more. The run scored by Garcia, now earned. To Robinson, ground ball foul, and Josh Bell knocks it down with his big right hand, but fails to stop it. He deflected it sideways. Now finds a fan to toss it to. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robinson. Runner takes off. The pitch is outside. It's a double steal. And coming home to score is Bortnick, as Galen is tracked down by Martinez and tagged out. As soon as they fired through, Bortnick came charging home. Galen more than willing to give himself up. Robinson suddenly batting with 2 outs and the base is empty. There's no steal for Bortnick. He scores on the fielder's choice because Galen was thrown out. 2-1 to Robinson. The pitch fouled back to the net. It is 2-2. Third baseman Conrad Greger waits on deck. I have been tempted all week to mishandle Greger's name. I think I might have done it on the air once. Ball 3 is up and away. There have been times on the side, I feel like Endora trying to remember her son-in-law's name, and it came out as anything but Darren. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Greger just outside, ball 4. First walk given up by DePaula, and Conrad Greger will step in. Here's Greger, lined out the first. Back in the second inning, a leaping catch made by Geraldo Valentin. Trayvon Robinson, an extra base runner for the Barnstormers here in the third. They lead by a pair. Greger standing in, the DePaula pitch up and in. Escobar wanted to use him as a shield. He was hoping to catch Robinson a little wide of the bag at first, but Trayvon was up to his bag of tricks. Ball 1-0 to the former Commodore, Conrad Greger. The pitch to him, again inside, 2-0. Casey Hobson waiting on deck. Nice finish to the year for Casey. It was a struggle for him. When Butch was here, I told Butch that he really needs to be very, very proud of his son for going through the struggles as he did and coming out on top. Ball 3. That is inside as well. 3-0 to the Barnstormer third baseman. Ross still does not know what lineup and what defensive alignment he's going to put out there against Sugar Land come Tuesday. He's got options with the newcomers Perez and Greger, the 2 guys the Barnstormers imported from the other independent leagues after their seasons ended, because they've turned out to be pretty good players. We'd heard great stuff about them. Ball 4 is inside. Conrad takes the walk, and Hobson steps in with 2 outs and 2 on. As it turns out, the Barnstormers' base running play cost them this inning. That second run would have been forced across, and right now Hobson would be batting with the bases loaded and 1 out. But you don't know that at the time, and the Barnstormers are going to run the bases through thick, thin, come you-know-what or high water. It's the way Ross runs his ball club. He wants the speed, and he wants to use it. We're going to have a conference at the mound. Armindo Escobar out there to talk to DePaula. Escobar, veteran from Cuba, and DePaula, who has made it to the major leagues here in the United States. And I have to believe this will count as a mound visit. DePaula will walk back off the mound momentarily. We'll get the signal from the plate umpire, or we should, whether or not that is a timeout charged. And, yep, it is. 1 timeout charged to the Road Warriors. A catcher going out to the mound counts if the discussion goes beyond signals. Hobson finally stepping in. He's got Robinson at second, Gregor at first with 2 outs in the frame. 2 runs are across. Here's the pitch to KC. That's outside. DePaula suddenly having trouble finding the zone. The shortstop Perez is on deck. He has batted an inordinate number of times with the bases loaded since he got here. Could happen again. 1-0 to Hobson. Inside, and DePaula really can't locate the zone, at least not where Martinez wants it. 2 balls and nothing. Robinson at second, Gregor at first with 2 gone. The 2-0 is on the way, and ball 3 is served up outside. With DePaula, it's inside-outside. He can't get the ball over. The vertical plane seems to be in good shape for him. 3-0. Hobson swings away and may have gone after ball 4 there. 3-1. 2 runners on with 2 outs, 2 home. A 2-0 Lancaster lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning, our final game of the 2018 regular season. The Barnstormers securing their spot in the playoffs on Wednesday. Ball 4 is high and outside. Hobson is on, and once again, Perez bats with the bases loaded. It's like the 7th time in about a dozen games. That's incredible. And he's yet to come up with a base hit. He has drawn a bases loaded walk. The bases are filled with cop tickets. 3 walks in a row given up by DePaula. Perez trying to do some damage. He swings away, and it's a roller on the first base side, and it's fumbled by Valentin. Not only is 1 run going to score, but 2 will come across as the ball trickles free out into right field. Robinson and Gregor are home. An error charged to Valentin. There should be no RBI there. That was a routine ground ball. However, I am not absolutely certain that DePaula was going to beat Perez to the bag. We might have to think about that one, but for now it's an E3. And here's De La Rosa. Anderson fly to left back in the 2nd inning. A 4-run frame, 3 straight walks, followed by a boot at first base. 2nd error of the inning committed by the Road Warriors. The other one on the throw by Escobar off the Garcia steal attempt. Strike called on De La Rosa, who's batting with Hobson at second and Perez at first base. Here comes the 0-1. De La Rosa, huge cut, he misses. It is 0-2. Another very long inning for a Road Warrior pitcher. DePaula has fired 33 times. Last night, Kelvin Villa threw 43 pitches in the bottom of the first. We had a 35-pitch inning for Felix Baez in the second back on Friday. Low for a ball. De La Rosa batting 1 and 2. Once again, 2 on, 2 out. Here's a 1-2 pitch. De La Rosa couldn't hold on the swing. He goes down on strikes. That closes out the third, but another big inning for the Barnstormers. 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, 2 men left on base at the end of 3 today. 4-0 Lancaster.
Score that many, you will get a coupon for a BOGO burger from
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and Lancaster is stranded 4 base runners. And for the Road Warriors today, no runs on 2 hits with 2 errors and 2 men left on base. Third baseman Edwin Gomez will be leading off the 4th inning against Tyrell Harris. Daniel Aldrich, one of the couple guys back on the bench, heading down to coach first base. We only saw Aldrich in last night's game. Throw goes through from Anderson De La Rosa. We can check in on the other Atlantic League scores. Nothing any longer means all that much. We're not glued to the scoreboard as we have been for a very long time now. The playoff tournament is set. Somerset leads York 1-0, by the way, in the top of the 5th inning. If Long Island had lost last night, York could have gotten to the playoffs by losing today, as quirky as that was. Harris spins off a breaking ball, and it just broke way too much. Down and in to Gomez, ball 1 and no strikes. Edwin Gomez is listed as 6'3". He just seems taller than that. He's a slender guy, goes up there a long way. High pop-up, foul, out of play. It is 1-1. New Britain is up 2-0 over Southern Maryland. They're just underway. Top half of the first inning. Long Island and Sugar Land will be getting started in about 3/4 of an hour. Ducks made it in last night. Saw a fly ball out to shallow right field, and it's down in front of Trayvon Robinson. Gomez aboard, leading off here in the 4th inning. That is the 12th single of the series for the Road Warriors, and the bulk of them have looked like that. They've been dunking them in front of the Barnstormers defenders. The tie-breaking run in the 11th inning last night for Long Island actually scored on a throwing error by Anthony Giansani, trying to cut down a runner at third base. Ground ball, right side. Bortnick will get there, and Bortnick will lose the handle. He'll throw to first belatedly, Everybody is safe. And for the Road Warriors, first and second, with nobody out. Bortnick might have been thinking about trying to start the double play because Julio Ruiz does not run very well. And we still do not have a ruling rendered by Joel Schreiner. Here is Jorge Fernandez-Diaz. He grounded out the second base his first time up. And I have, to be perfectly honest with you, no opinion to offer. Bortnick had gone a long way for it. And it will be a base hit of the infield variety. First pitch strike to Fernandez-Diaz. Harris not exactly being assaulted here in the fourth inning, but he got to contend with runners at first and second. Off-speed delivery is low. Ball one and a strike to Fernandez-Diaz. Gustavo Pierre waiting on deck. 4-0 Lancaster here in the fourth inning. There's another ground ball. This one could be two. Bortnick to Perez and back to Casey Hobson. A double play, 2 innings in a row. Same setup, 4-6 to 3. Gomez left at third with 2 gone, and Pierre will step to the plate. Gustavo Pierre flied out to right field, to the warning track, in fact, back in the second inning. Talking to Ellie Rodriguez last night, these guys are bushed. Can you imagine the schedule they've been on? High drive to left field, though. This one could travel. Back on it goes Garcia. The walls will not contain it. And Gustavo Pierre, with his 14th home run of the season, a 2-run blast. It's 4-2. Gomez scoring, and that double play looks awfully big right now. Pierre gave that one a ride out to the hill. I will be shocked if Gustavo, who is just 26 years of age, is not in the Atlantic League next year unless an organization picks him up. But he has really put on a show, and he's a high-energy guy. He's very well thought of. Geraldo Valentin steps in, a single for him back in the second inning. 4-2 the score, and Harris to the plate, firing a strike. It is 0-1. Whether or not Julio Ruiz was credited with a hit or a Bortnick charged with an error, the same result because of the double play. Popped up, out into shallow right, Bortnick there, and will end the inning, and half the lead survives. 2 runs on 3 hits with no errors, and nobody is left on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The scoreboard reads Lancaster 4 and the Travel Guys 2.
You can measure the power of the Lexus LS500's twin-turbocharged engine, the responsiveness of its adaptive variable suspension, and the clarity of its available 23-speaker audio system. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling only a Lexus can bring at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, with exceptional offers on our most luxurious models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
So, John, what should the Eagles' focus be this season?
Eagles Fast Play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Eagles Fast Play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Eagles game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Flag. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
We have a change in back of the plate for the Road Warriors. Robert De La Hoz is now going to do the catching. Armando Escobar, done for the year. He heads down to the bullpen. We've got Carlos Garcia leading off for the Barnstormers. Garcia singled and scored the first run last inning. The Barnstormers leading 4-2 here in the fourth. The runs coming across against Julio DePaula last inning. This guy has closed games. He started games. I mean, he has been everything, including the pitching coach for this Road Warriors ball club. Breaking ball to Carlos Garcia for a strike call. It's 0-1. Thank you, listeners, for another great year. Your compliments are so kind for somebody who just gets to sit here and talk about what he enjoys for 3 hours a night. If it goes beyond 3 hours, I'm not sure I enjoy it. Just kidding. It's actually Chris Rivera behind the plate, not De La Hoz. Thought Rivera was inactive. And it may be De La Hoz. High fly ball out toward right field, toward the line, and that will drop foul into the bullpen. Garcia will bat at 1-2. The roster we had the other night had Rivera inactive. And one wears 12, the other one wears 13. And with the straps of the chest protector crossing through, not really sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rivera hasn't played for a while, but that does look like 13 and not 12. There is action, a right-hander warming up in the Road Warriors bullpen. Here comes the 1-2. Ground ball up the middle and a base hit for Carlos Garcia. He's 2 for 2. 5 hits for the Barnstormers. Here's Darian Sanford, 0 for 1. He has walked, flied out, and yet another multi-steal game. That's 18 for the year. Darian is, in this day and age, unique. But Ross Peoples, if anyone didn't think that Ross could get the job done, this was the first guy pretty much he brought in here last year. A ball is low, 1-0. Thinking outside the box. Saying, I've seen this guy's speed, and you know what? That's how I'm going to build my ball club. And as long as he gets on base enough, however he does it, that's all that's going to matter. Because he's going to wreak havoc out there. Ball 2 is low, 2-0. Of course, Darian worked a lot with Lastings Millage during 2017. Hasn't hit quite for the same average this year, about 50 points below, but he's drawn a lot of walks, and he's taken a lot of pitches, helping everybody else out. Throw to first base, diving back in Garcia. 3 stolen bases for the Barnstormers in the game. They are 8 short of the all-time Atlantic League record. It's highly unlikely that they will get to that mark. We'd have to have some crazy long extra inning game today. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and it is ball 3 to Darian. But what an accomplishment to average stealing more than 2 bases a game. That 2000 Somerset Ball Club did not do that. They had 140 games. 3-0 to Sanford. We'll see if he's taking right now. Here's the pitch. Darian goes for it. It's a chopper toward the second baseman. The play from Rodriguez Ortiz has to go to first. Sanford retired. On to second goes Garcia. You know the game does not mean a whole lot when you've got Darian Sanford swinging 3-0. It's Speaking of thinking outside the box. Garcia advancing to second base. Here is Bortnick, who is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. And again, if he is retired here by DePaula, does he come out of the ball game? I went through the scenarios with Ross last night, but knowing Bordy, he may not want to. He may not want to come out of a ball game just to save his numbers. Doesn't sound like him anyway. 1 out with the runner in scoring position. Garcia out to a lead. Here's the pitch to Bortnick, and it bends back to the inside corner. Strike 1 taken. Blake Galen waiting on deck. The RBI last inning was the 43rd for Bortnick. By the way, the only RBI of the inning, with the Barnstormers scoring 4. Strike 2 now to the outside corner. I don't know if you're going to see Noel or Vlad out there today. Castile also available, and well, JB could play theoretically. Time call. Bortnick will back away. Ross will have Josh Bell with him on the bench for the playoffs. He's going to be deactivated now that the Barnstormers manager is pretty comfortable with Conrad Gregor, that he's going to be able to get the job done here. No balls and 2 strikes on Bortnick. Here's the pitch. Tyler dribbles it foul, staying alive. 2 strikes in the count. Nothing in 2, still a count on the Lancaster second baseman. Garcia leading off second base. DePaula looks him back. Here's the 0-2. Bortnick wraps it back to the mound. DePaula will again look Garcia back, fire on. Bortnick's retired 1-3. His average right now exactly at 200. And here's Blake Galen. He has struck out and he has singled into right center field, 1 out of 2. Barnstormers 4, Road Warriors 2. Lower half of the 4th inning on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Got some Major League Baseball going on as well. The Red Sox own a 3-0 lead over the New York Mets through 5. The New York Yankees, one better than the Toronto Blue Jays, 2-1. The ball game at Yankee Stadium in the top of the 5th inning. The Baltimore Orioles trying to win their 43rd of the year on a 5-1 lead over the Chicago White Sox. They're in the top of the 4th inning. Galen takes the ball low, 1-0. Tampa Bay up 3-0 at the end of 4 innings over Oakland. The A's without a hit in the ballgame. Tigers lead the Indians 5-3, top 5. Breaking ball is outside and low. Galen batting 2-0 with Trayvon Robinson scheduled next. First base is open here. Nationals lead the Braves 5-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. The Phillies are up 1-0 over the Marlins in the 4th inning. Houston 1, Arizona 0 in the top half of the 2nd inning. 2 balls, no strikes to Galen. Blake can't hold on the swing there. The pitch was low. It is 2-1. Pirates and the Brewers scoreless in the 2nd inning. Twins and the Royals, no score, bottom 1. Reds have a run on the board, still batting in the 1st inning at Wrigley. Dodgers Cardinals, the nationally televised game tonight. That's a big one. Blake Galen digging in. 2 balls, 1 strike. The wind in the pitch. It's ball 3 low. DePaula out there in his 3rd inning of work. He's allowed 5 hits. He's walked 3 in succession. 2 earned runs. He has 1 strikeout. Galen batting 3-1. Garcia leads off second. The pitch swung on and hit high in the air. Deep right field. Way back it goes. And Blake Galen has his 27th of the year. A 2-run homer at 6-2 Lancaster. 27 home runs, 90 runs batted in. Will those totals be good enough? He very possibly could end up leading the league in both. The Barnstormers lead by 4 again, and here is Trayvon, who has struck out and walked. As always, I'd like to thank my wife, Chris, who has to put up with an empty house 90% of the time during the summer, and she can only get up here or meet me in Southern Maryland on a limited basis. Pop fly foul out of play down the left field line. She's a trooper. She's allowed me to do this. Don't ask me why or how for all these years. And thanking God for enabling me to do this. And again, I don't know how or why. I try not to ask. 0-1. Robinson lines a base hit in the right center field. Over to gather it in is Fernandez Diaz. He will force Robinson to check up at first. Conrad Gregor now will step in. He's lined out and walked. Right-hander is warming up in the bullpen for the Road Warriors, who have down the stretch gotten very thin in the number of available arms. And with Caceres only able to work an inning today, it really depleted things out there for Ellie Rodriguez. Gregor digs in. Robinson, the runner at first base. The pitch. Conrad strokes a ground ball that'll hop away from Melvin Rodriguez and escape into right field. 2 men on. And Casey Hobson stepping in. This has not been the best of weekends for the official scorers. Kind of glad Joey's not here today. Didn't need the additional stress and strain. Joel's been doing it for longer. He's going to give a bad hop base hit to Gregor there. That really did come up. First baseman Hobson steps in. He has doubled and walked. Barnstormers enjoying a 6-2 lead. DePaula probably coming to the end of his string this afternoon. To KC, it is outside. That is ball 1. DePaula, a guy who's used to working out of the bullpen, as Hobson tears into one, driving it down the right field line. That's going to rattle off the boards. Here comes Robinson to score. Gregor will stop at third, and Hobson on with a very loud single off the wall in right field. Driving in another Barnstormers run. It is now 7-2. It brings on Steven Perez, who is 0 for 2. 2 outs in the inning. Those came easily, but Galen with the home run. Robinson, Gregor, and Hobson have all singled. DePaula has thrown 75 pitches in 2 2/3 innings. Perez ready to go. First pitch inside. It is ball 1 and no strikes. And finally, thanks to our great coaching staff, Ross Peoples and Josh Bell, 2 of the finest men you could ever possibly work with on a day-to-day basis. Ball 2 is inside. It is 2-0. Because they're wonderful family men, great husbands, great dads, just kind-hearted souls, hardworking, love this game. Ball 3 is outside, 3-0 on Perez. And once again, they have put together a delightful ball club to work with here. Great bunch of fellas. I couldn't ask for a better crew. Ball 4 is outside. Perez gets a walk, and De La Rosa will bat with the bases loaded.
It's another walk, presented by Jack Williams.
Fourth walk given up by DePaula. They, I don't think, really have anybody else, and DePaula is just trying to get his ball club through one last time. This, in a sense, is great leadership on the part of DePaula. I don't think they've got anybody else to go to, and he's letting his own numbers get damaged here in the middle innings. De La Rosa with a ground ball left side. Nice stop by Gomez to his left, and he takes a base hit away from Anderson. The 5-4 force out on Perez ends the frame, but a 3-run inning with 5 hits for the Barnstormers. There were no errors, 3 runners left on base. We have come through to the end of the 4th. The Barnstormers own a 7-2 lead.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
For the Road Warriors, these players led by manager Ellie Rodriguez come out and show their love for the game of baseball day in and day out. And frankly, we would not have a 2018 season without this team. They have no home, and so we thank them for their efforts. And we wish you all the best of luck. And we'll see many of you in different Atlantic League uniforms next season. Thank you, Road Warriors.
You heard that tribute to the Road Warriors. I've said this all along. Everybody's second favorite team in the Atlantic League. And we all thought that would be a very nice send-off for Ellie and company here this year. So we go into the top of the 5th inning. Tyrell Harris remaining on the hill.
Warriors catcher number 12, Robert De La Hoz.
And it will be the catcher, Robert De La Hoz. So I was right in the first place. It was De La Hoz. He is starting off the 5th inning. It was tough to tell under the straps of the chest protector, but it was number 12. It was the only thing that made sense to me based on the roster that I had. First pitch from Tyrell Harris, rolled foul up the first base line. It is 0-1. De La Hoz from Jackson Heights, New York. He is a 25-year-old. Earlier this year, spent some time with the Long Island Ducks. Escobar had been 0 for 1. Harris comes back, and De La Hoz takes a pitch down low, ball 1 and strike 1. .211 hitter with 4 hits and 19 at bats. He does have a home run. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Harris has the advantage at 1-2. Tyrell has allowed 5 hits and 2 runs, couple of weak base hits last inning, got a double play, and then Gustavo Pierre unloaded. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anthony Ray waits on deck. Lancaster with 9 hits and 7 runs here today. The pitch skips away from De La Rosa. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, we've never been told the official pronunciation, but it should be De La Os in proper Spanish without pronouncing the H. So I'm going to go that way, De La Os. 2-2 from Harris, where you do pronounce the H. A check swing. I don't think he went, and he didn't. 3-2. Leadoff batter still in there in the top half of the 5th inning. Last year, the longest game of our season was the last game, that wild affair. Sean Halton playing every position but catcher. And the Barnstormers winning in extra innings. De La Os creams a line drive single into left field. He is on to start the 5th inning. Anthony Ray stepping to the plate.
Center fielder Anthony Ray.
Ray grounded out 4-3 back in the 3rd inning. We're headed there again. This game's in no hurry. Road Warriors, they don't want the season over. It's got to be a grind. I just can't even imagine. Popped up foul and out of play. Stuff as simple as laundry and getting basic grooming supplies. Man. When you're home, you got vehicles, you can do that stuff a lot more easily. Fortunately, here they're pretty much next door to a supermarket when they're in their hotel. Foul ball over on the third base side. Some of the hotels do have laundry machines, and I suppose that the clubbies from time to time do the laundry. But it's just got to be hard. I can't even imagine doing that. No balls, 2 strikes. That is rolled out ahead of the plate. De La Rosa is going to fire to second, get the force back to first from Perez. That won't be in time. Ray burns across. He's safe on the fielder's choice. De La Rosa is forced 2-6. 1 out, and Osvaldo Martinez, the shortstop, comes to the plate.
Osvaldo Martinez, the shortstop.
One out. Ray the base runner. Lancaster leading 7-2. Martinez will stand in against Tyrell Harris. By far Tyrell's best start at home. Like I said, the 2 starts on that long road trip were golden and very well timed. Ray takes off. The pitch is up. The throw by De La Rosa is 2. And Anthony Ray steals his 15th of the year. He got a pretty good start, and De La Rosa was not deadly accurate with that throw. Ball 1, no strikes. The count now on Martinez. Fastball gets there. Martinez batting at 1-1. Not a lot of sweat really broken by Harris today. That was just his 53rd pitch of the afternoon. Runner at second base. And it's 1-1 to Osvaldo Martinez with 1 out here. Driven to center field. Sanford has to leap at the last second. That ball tricked him. Ray is going to race ahead to third base, as Sanford ultimately was in no position to make a throw. 2 outs with a runner 90 feet away. And Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz comes in. He is singled and grounded into a double play. Tyrell Harris ready to go. Swing and a miss at the high fastball. Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz down a strike. It is 0-1. Gustavo Pierre with a 2-run home run last inning, the only extra base hit for the Road Warriors in the series. Barnstormers, meanwhile, have batted around 2 innings in a row, sending exactly 9 men to the plate, scoring 4 and 3. And Carlos Garcia will lead off in the 5th inning also. Up and away. Ball 1 and strike 1 to Rodriguez Ortiz. Harris 1 out from being eligible for the win. The Barnstormers leading by 5. Harris has the signal from De La Rosa. Right-hander going to work. A ball and a strike. Rodriguez Ortiz, ground ball, first base. And right to the bag with it goes Casey Hobson. Inning is over. It is no runs on a hit with no errors and 1 man stranded. Bottom of the 5th coming up. We're halfway through regulation today. The Barnstormers leading 7-2.
All right, so the goal is, Craig, we're going to show you.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
You can measure the sound of the Lexus LC500's naturally aspirated V8 engine and the quickness of its 10-speed transmission. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus high-performance line at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most exhilarating models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
7-2 Lancaster, and for the 3rd straight inning, Carlos Garcia will get the lead things off. He is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. He will be facing a new pitcher.
Systems for small and medium-sized businesses in Lancaster, Dauphin, New York, and Lebanon counties. JMJ IT Solutions.
I haven't quite been able to ascertain who that is out there, but it is definitely no longer DePaul. It's Alberto Rodriguez. Rodriguez's last appearance, he was the guy who beat York and put the Barnstormers on the brink of clinching back on Wednesday. Rodriguez, a guy who is either stellar or gets knocked out early. 2-5 in 9 starts, a 6.22 ERA. Remember, one of those starts was a shutout against the Barnstormers. Facing Garcia. Here's the wind, the pitch to Carlos, strike 1 on the outside corner. And then the Barnstormers faced him a second time, and they were not terribly kind. He's 1-1 in his 2 starts against Lancaster. No balls, 1 strike. Sanford and Bortnick will follow. The windup, the pitch, fouled to the screen. Carlos Garcia trails 0-2. DePaula went 3 innings. He allowed 9 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, with 4 walks and a strikeout. Oh and 2. Garcia pulls this toward right center field. Easy play gliding over for Anthony Ray. 1 out. in the Lancaster half of the fifth. Back around to the top of the order, and Darian Sanford, who is 0 for 2 with a walk on the day. 7 runs, 9 hits for the Barnstormers this afternoon. In this series total, 32 runs on 38 hits. And they're batting in the 21st inning. That's a pretty healthy offensive output. To Sanford, fouled off his foot, and Darian goes down in a crumpled heap at home plate. That's a concern. Jared Binner out to tend to him. 99 times out of 100. It's painful, and it can be a little painful for a day or two, but it goes away, and you can play on it. Every once in a while, somebody will get hurt on those foul tips and have to sit out a while, and obviously Darian Sanford is not a guy the Barnstormers can operate without very easily. Nothing in one. Sanford able to get back in there, chopping it towards shortstop. Martinez with the barehanded play. Here's the throw. They don't get him. So after that foul ball off the foot, Sanford hits a chopper towards shortstop. Osvaldo Martinez did everything humanly possible, and Sanford still beat it out. Runner on with 1 out. His speed is something abnormal, and it's special, and it's an asset like no other. 1 out, 1 on. Here is Bortnick. He is going to risk that average. He either needs to walk the rest of the way or get another base hit. Throw to first. Sanford dives back in. (7-2) Barnstormers, bottom of the 5th inning, in a ball game that is beginning to border on 2 hours in length. Sanford and Bortnick already batting for the 4th time. To Tyler, sharp slider, gets the inside corner, strike 1. We've got 4 more innings of baseball here in the regular season, one would anticipate. And on to the playoffs for the Lancaster Barnstormers. First time in 3 years. 0-1, outside and low, a ball and a strike. And looking at the numbers, does anybody really have an edge going into this postseason? I suppose you could say Somerset because of having the home field advantage. But if you look at the 4 clubs and their records against each other total, they're all about dead even. Bortnick high, pop fly behind shortstop, backpedaling Martinez. He'll make the grab. And Bortnick will have to get a base hit his next time up. 2 outs and a runner aboard. Blake Galen stepping in. Galen knocked a 2-run homer out of here back in the 4th inning. His 98th Atlantic League home run. Does he have one more in him? He would tie for 10th all time. 2 outs, Sanford the base runner here in the 5th inning. Throw to first base. Darian returns safely. Blake awaiting the pitch from Alberto Rodriguez. Sanford takes off. The pitch is a called strike. The throw bounces in. The tag laid on by Martinez, and Sanford is nailed 2-6 by De La Hoz. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll go to the 6th inning with the Barnstormers ahead 7-2.
Concept to completion, making the spaces in and around.
area's most unique beer fest is coming to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Sunday, September 9th during the Barnstormers game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That afternoon, samples from over 20 local breweries will be made available throughout the right field hospitality areas. Souvenir pint and sample glasses and a Broken Bat hat will go to everyone buying a ticket. VIP tickets are available for early entry and limited releases. For more information, go to www.lancasterbarnstormers.com.
So, John, what should the Steelers' focus be this season?
Steelers fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Steelers fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Steelers game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Edwin Gomez facing Tyrell Harris. We go to the 6th inning with the Barnstormers ahead by 5. Gomez has a single and he has scored a run, 1 out of 2 today. The Atlantic League officials, Emily Merrill and Rick White, are both here today. Thanks to them also for coordinating so much. Not an easy task on their end either. First pitch is low. Ball 1, no strikes on Gomez. Jose Julio Ruiz, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Going to check. York is up 3-1 in the 6th inning. And looking at Melky Mesa, he has not driven in a run. All 3 knocked in by Alfonso Harris on a home run. Called strike. It is 1-1. So Galen ahead in the RBI race, 90-88. David Washington would need to hit 3 home runs to tie Blake, and we may see Blake bat twice here the remainder of the game. It is low for ball 2 on Gomez. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of inning 6 this afternoon at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Season finale. Outside, and now 3 balls and a strike. Here's the wind. 3-1 pitch, ground ball. That'll get into right field. It looked like Hobson started to go after it. I don't know that he would have gotten there anyway, but he lost his footing. Gomez on with the leadoff base hit here in the 6th inning. 7 hits now for the Road Warriors. Jose Julio Ruiz is going to be summoned back. Daniel Aldrich will take this turn at the plate. And that is the DH the rest of the way. Gomez on at first with nobody out. Ellie Rodriguez getting as many guys out there as he can today. He's used them all. Among his position players, he's on his 3rd pitcher. Gomez leading off first. Aldrich stands in against Harris, and the pitch angles across for a strike. It is 0-1. Nate Reed will be going Tuesday night. We have not heard from the Skeeters as of yet. My guess is that it will be Dallas Beeler, but it could be James Russell. I would expect we're going to see those two one order or the other in the first 2 games of that series. Connor Wade, game 3. Ball is outside. Aldrich batting 1-1. And for the Barnstormers, it is Nate Reed, Jonathan Albaladejo, and Brooks Hall in those first 3 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aldrich swinging a miss. Harris changing speeds on him, up and in.
That's nasty.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, York not going to the playoffs today, but I've got to figure that if they had gotten Harrison Nash in about a week earlier if they could have found one more pitcher along the way. Check swing and a foul ball back. Still a ball and 2 strikes. They were so close to this late season rush. I thought they were going to pull it off and get there. One and 2. Gomez, the runner at first base. Harris fires, swung on and missed. Throw by De La Rosa, and he doubles Gomez off first base. I guess we can count that as another double play. Strike him out, throw him out by picking him off. Well, you don't see that combination too often. Third double play for the Barnstormers in the game. This one in particular unorthodox. Here is Fernandez Diaz, who grounded into one of the other 2. First pitch is wide, 1-0. That's the second strikeout for Harris this afternoon. His starts have been just all over the place. He's had 2 games with 6 or more walks and 2 with none. He's had high strikeout totals, and today only 2 in 5 2/3 innings. He's given up 1 hit in 5 1/3. He's given up 9 in 3. There's no pattern. Bounder foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But when all is said and done, Harris has been a very nice addition to this ball club. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jorge Fernandez Diaz here in the 6th inning. Ground ball pulled toward first base. Hobson will underhand to Harris. 3-1 on the conversion. No runs on a base hit, no errors, nobody left for the Road Warriors. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Lancaster's up 7-2.
You can measure the exceptional torque of the Lexus LX and the capability of its full-time 4-wheel drive. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus line of SUVs at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most capable models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Well, it certainly looks like the Lancaster Barnstormers once again will have the Atlantic League home run champion. Blake Galen has 27 on the year after belting one out in the 4th inning. We go back to the tie between Reggie Taylor and Aaron Herr in 2010. Tommy Everidge won it in 11. Ryan Harvey in 13. Cole Garner in 14. Lance Zawadski in 15. Foul ball back. Blake was going for it. Down a strike here. It's 0-1. And Sean Halton last year. Chris Nowak from York won it in 12, and I don't remember 2016. I'd have to look that up. Outside a ball, Galen at 1-1, but it's become almost a tradition that a Barnstormer will win the Atlantic League home run title. David Washington would need to have a 3-home run game at Sugarland to catch him. Swing and a miss. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes from Alberto Rodriguez. 7-2 Barnstormers action in the Lancaster bullpen. The community man of the year, Garrett Granite's warming up. What a nice fellow. Just downright nice guy. 1-2. Over the top to Galen. Fastball is up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Robinson and Gregor will follow here in the bottom of inning 6. Two is on the way. Galen grounds it up the first base line. Foul. JB handles it. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, there's one group I left out, and I could kick myself because very often they're the crew I work with the most closely, and that's the press box staff here. Joel Schreiner, Bill Hoffman, Tom Richards, John Whitwer. What a bunch of zanies. Here's a 2-2. Ground foul again. And others assorted on various days, but that's the main group. When you get to come to work and see John Whitwer and Tom Richards every day, or just about every day, your life is made. You got it easy. You're going to have some laughs, you know that much. 2-2. Inside to Galen. The count fills out. It'll be the 8th pitch of the AB. Lancaster up 7-2, bottom of the 6th inning. Galen having a big afternoon today in his 126th game of the year. Here's the payoff, and he launches one to right. Did he get enough? Fernandez Diaz looking up, and the walls will not contain it. It's off the top of the 10th, and that is 99 for Blake Galen here in the Atlantic League. 2 innings in a row, he's gone deep. He is playoff ready. And that should just about lock him in for the home run title. A leadoff home run in the 6th inning. It's 8-2 Barnstormers. Galen has 28. And he'll actually tie the franchise single season record, which is held by Harvey from 2013. If he can get another one out of here, somebody else has to reach base outside to Trayvon. Ball 1-0. Robinson today, a walk and a single. 28 homers, 91 runs batted in for Galen. Fastball is outside, 2-0. So David Washington will have to have an historic day in Sugarland to catch Galen for the home run title. And Galen automatically will bat again. High and outside. Ball 3 rather, to Robinson. Galen has had himself another great season. The 2 times he has been here all year, my goodness, has he racked up some numbers. 3-0 pitch, taken for a strike on the inner edge. It is 3-1. Not only was he the Atlantic League Player of the Year in 2012, he was Baseball America's Independent League Player of the Year. He comes back this year, full season, healthy. That's good to see. I don't know how strong the doubts were about Galen's condition the hip problem he had 2 or 3 years ago, but he has bounced back from that pretty fully. And once again, he has terrorized the Atlantic League. Conrad Gregor steps in. He has walked and singled, 1 out of 2 officially. Lined out his first time up, and the second time around after the walk, a bad hop single. Hobson on deck, and then Steven Perez. Rodriguez will go to work. Gregor takes a nice off-speed pitch for a strike. 0-1. Hobson on deck. He's perfect. De La Rosa is the only Barnstormer who has not successfully reached base in this game. 11 hits, and the Barnstormers have picked up 6 walks. Just outside to Conrad Gregor. Ball 1, strike 1. Grew up in the Indianapolis area. Resides in Florida now, but he still has an Indianapolis phone number. A ball and a strike. Conrad has to get out of the way. Ball 2 is in too close. 2-1. I'm excited to see another Blake Galen at bat. He's tied Oreste Marrero for 10th all-time in Atlantic League home runs. Can he reach 100 here today? Rodriguez ready to go, and it's ball 3 outside to Conrad Gregor. Robinson leads off first, still being held by Valentin in an 8-2 ball game. Here's the 3-1. That is low and gets to the backstop. Gregor picks up another walk. Casey Hobson to the plate. He has a single, a double, and a walk. Barnstormers on their 4th time through the batting order. The De La Os will talk to Alberto Rodriguez here. They got crossed up on that last pitch. Ultimately harmless because the walk was going to move Robinson ahead anyway. Well, they want to make sure their signals are straight. Hobson will step in. The Road Warriors pretty much don't have anywhere else to go. Kelvin Villa got through 5 innings last night. Today, Andres Caceres, because of an injury, came out after an inning. Felix Baez worked just 2 1/3 innings here on Friday night. They don't have many other arms to go to. So here's Hobson with runners at first and second, nobody out. Rodriguez to the plate, and it's fired high and outside, ball 1. Lancaster has outscored the Road Warriors 33-4 in this series. That could be of concern. Hobson a swing and a foul tip. It is 0-1. Robinson and Gregor out to their leads. Rodriguez deals, and that's ripped foul past Bell. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 5th inning ended up being pretty quick for Rodriguez. Sanford beat out the infield single and then was thrown out trying to steal. This inning has been a labor for him. 22nd pitch. He still doesn't have an out. 1-2 to Casey Hobson. That is cracked to left and down the line in for a base hit. Robinson is going to come around to score. Gregor will hold at second despite a bobble by Pierre. Casey Hobson 3 for 3 today. And now it is 9-2 Lancaster. Steven Perez comes to the plate.
Shortstop Steven Perez.
Perez is 0 for 2 with a walk. What a recovery for Hobson after that abysmal start. He's starting to swing the bat really well. Galen, a couple of home runs today. Outside and low to Perez. Ball 1 and no strikes. Playoffs are coming, and you just don't know. Nobody expected the Barnstormers to lose to Southern Maryland in 2015, and the Blue Crabs knocked our ball club out in 4. Now, everybody's thinking Sugarland, 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 but when you look at the Skeeters records combined against Lancaster, Somerset, and Long Island, they're just 29 and 26. The Barnstormers against the 3 other playoff teams are 26 and 28. A strike taken by Perez. In there from the left side, it is 1-1. Gregor at second, Hobson at first, and Somerset and Long Island are both right in that same neighborhood. So who's got the edge really? And I do not know. We'll see when it comes around. In on the hands, fouled away by Perez into the seats along the third base side. He trails in the count at 1-2. The left-hander Christian Flecha Estacio is tuning up in the bullpen for the Road Warriors. He threw the 8th inning last night and had to work 26 pitches. De La Rosa in the on-deck circle for the Barnstormers. Here's the 1-2, inside and low. A 2-2 count. York leading 3-1 in the top half of the 7th inning against the Somerset Patriots. The Patriots open at Long Island on Tuesday. Fouled away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I believe, I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, that it's the 4th straight year that Somerset will play Long Island in the opening round. Last time it didn't happen was 2014 when the Barnstormers beat out Long Island for a wild card spot. Perez has to spin out of the way. Ball 3 is inside. It is a full count to the Barnstormers shortstop. Gregor at second. Hobson, the runner, at first base. Payoff is coming from Rodriguez. 3-2 is ball 4 high. That will load the bases for De La Rosa. Barnstormers leading 9-2. De La Rosa is 0 for 3, and this will be the 3rd at bat in a row that he has stepped in with a significant number of runners on base. In fact, in the 2nd inning, he flied out to left for the final out with a runner at 3rd. He struck out with runners at 1st and 2nd in the 3rd inning. And in the 4th inning, he hit into a force play with the bases loaded to end the inning. The only way he can end the inning here is if he should happen to hit a ground ball just to the right of the 3rd baseman, Gomez. And a triple play. Bases loaded, nobody out. Rodriguez deals a strike. It is 0-1. That's the 30th pitch of the inning, and he still has not recorded an out. He's given up the home run to Galen. He's walked 3. Hobson with an RBI single. Carlos Garcia waits on deck. He'll bat for the 4th straight inning. Ball 1 is outside to De La Rosa. 1 ball, 1 strike. That doesn't happen often, and you know your team is piling up a lot of runs when it does. Once called a guy who hit for the cycle in a span of 4 innings. That was wild. 1-1 to Anderson De La Rosa. Alberto Rodriguez comes back and misses inside, ball 2. DePaula at times, and Rodriguez a little bit right now, appears to be in that, come on, man, give me a break mode. It's the last day of the season. It's 9-2. The game doesn't mean a lot, and you're not giving me anything. De La Rosa at 2 balls and a strike. Gregor at third, Hobson at second, Perez at first base. Upstairs for ball 3. Osvaldo Martinez and Gustavo Pierre have both pitched this year for the Road Warriors, and we could get there by the end of this one. 3-1 to De La Rosa. Here's the pitch. He goes after it. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2, and I have to think that was ball 4. Nobody out in the inning. The carousel does not need to start here. You could create a pileup on the interstate if you do. 3-2. Here's the pitch. De La Rosa with a line drive, base hit into left field. Gregor will score. Hobson will park at third. It's 10-2. And Carlos Garcia steps in. Third run of this inning. And Ellie is on his way out. He wants the lefty.
Close to another Fuds 14.
Rodriguez will depart after an inning plus. He never could record an out. Here in the 6th, the Barnstormers have opened up a 10-2 lead. And with Fletcher Estacio coming in, we're going to pause for this.
On Strickler Road.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
The bases are littered with Barnstormers. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. With Lancaster ahead 10-2. Carlos Garcia batting for the 4th time in 4 innings. He is 2 out of 3. A couple of singles. He has a stolen base. He has scored 2 runs. He has Hobson at third, Perez at second, De La Rosa aboard at first base. Christian Fletcher Estacio, the left-hander, is in. First pitch is fouled off for strike 1. Distinct possibility the Barnstormers could send at least 9 men to the plate for the 3rd time in this ball game. There'd have to be a double play of some sort somewhere for it not to happen. 1 strike to Carlos. Darian Sanford waiting on deck. Bortnick and then Galen. High fly ball towards center field. Backing up on it is Ray into left center. He'll make the catch. Tagging off third is Hobson. He'll come home to score. Sac fly for Garcia. And we've got an 11-2 ball game. That run is charged to Rodriguez. Darian Sanford coming in from the right side. He's got runners at first and second and 1 out. As the Barnstormers strike for their 36th run of the weekend. Some numbers are being seriously fattened. First pitch strike. It is 0-1. As long as they understand it will not be this easy against Sugar Land. Not with that pitching staff. Barnstormers are going to have to grind out wins, but they've been able to do it. Long Island actually beat Sugar Land in the season series. Or leads going into today. We do have that one final matchup. Long Island clinched last night. Sugar Land likely to win today, I would imagine. First pitch is out, or next pitch, I should say, is outside and low. 2 balls and a strike to Sanford. The Barnstormers today have 13 hits, and they have picked up 8 walks. There's also been an error, which allowed 2 runs to score. Darian Sanford swings away and fouls off the 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Granites, it appears, will come in the 7th inning. Nice job done today by Tyrell Harris. To think he is the Barnstormers' 6th starter. Oh, my. Outside to Sanford on the slow breaking ball. Fletcher Estacio, the side-arming lefty, can throw the ball at about 60. Here's a 3-2, lined right field, and a base hit is down for Sanford. Everybody will move up 1. And here is Bortnick. Tyler is 1 out of 4. The Barnstormers are up here in the 6th inning, batting the 5th time through the order. York is up 3-1 over Somerset in the 7th inning today. Bortnick with the bases loaded. Fletcher Estacio delivers outside and low. Ball 1-0. Sugar Land 1-0 over the Ducks in the bottom of the 2nd. New Britain 2-0 over Southern Maryland in the top of the 7th inning. Here's a 1-0 to Bortnick. Tyler will take a strike on it. It is 1-1. 9th man to bat here in the 6th inning. Galen is on deck. He pretty much has locked up the home run and RBI titles with his performance here this afternoon, unless Melky Mesa should maybe hit a grand slam toward the end of the York-Somerset game. 91 runs batted in for Galen, 88 for Mesa. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count on Bortnick. Here's the offering, and it's 3-1. Tyler needs a hit, not a walk. And Fletcher Estacio now glaring in. Again, come on, man. Give me a break here. 11-2 Lancaster. 3 balls, 1 strike. And a Bortnick ground ball, third base. Taking it to the bag is Gomez. He'll fire on. That's a double play. And Galen will lead off the next inning. Nice play by Edwin Gomez. closing out the sixth, keeping the Barnstormers to 4 runs on 4 hits with no errors, and as it turns out, 2 men left on base. We're done with 6. The Barnstormers leading 11-2.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Garrett Granitz comes on for the top of the 7th inning. The Barnstormers have 11 runs on 14 hits with no errors, and they have left 9. Road Warriors today have picked up 2 runs on 7 hits with 2 errors, and 3 runners have been left on base. Gustavo Pierre leading off. He drove in the 2 runs with a homer onto the left field hillside back in the 4th inning. His 14th long ball of the season. Granitz will go to work on him. Garrett's first pitch is across the knees for a strike. It is 0-1. Community Man of the Year, Garrett Granitz. Swing and a miss. It is 0-2. The man from the Madison, Wisconsin area. I still have a couple of ties back there. I lived there before Garrett was born. No balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He sets down Pierre on 3 pitches. 1 out here in the 7th. Geraldo Valentin will come to the plate. He is 1 out of 2.
First baseman Geraldo Valentin.
And looks like Ellie has found somebody else who's getting tuned up down there. Andrew Johnston, perhaps. Inside, that is ball 1 on Valentin, 1-0. The catcher, Robert Delos, waiting on deck. Ground ball toward the hole. It's short. Diving stop, Perez. He gets up, and his throw is wide. He had the double clutch. Almost a spectacular play against Valentin. Instead, the Road Warriors first baseman aboard on a 1-out single. What a stop by Perez in the hole, but when he went to get to his feet, the ball got wedged in his glove. He couldn't get rid of it. Then he had to rush the throw, and he bounced it wide of the bag. Valentin aboard on the single. Here's De La Hoz, who singled back in the 5th inning. Oh, what a stop by Perez. We have him and Frias. That's just an overload of blessings right there. To have 2 shortstops of that quality. Just as long as one or the other is here next year. I don't know what the plans are. That's for a few months down the road. First pitch, strike. It is 0-1. First of all, Ross would have to work things out with Butch to keep Steven Perez in Lancaster, but I think he would like to. That guy can play. Grounded foul up the first base line. Delos batting at 0-2. Anthony Ray waiting on deck. But Vlad has been pretty doggone good player here for a couple of years. It's just overloaded with riches. 2-strike pitch in on the hands and fouled into the seats. Delos still batting at 0-2. Top of inning 7 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Blake Galen will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. And he may be facing the right-hander. Not that it generally matters with Blake. Ball is inside and low, 1-2. Way out there. De La Rosa has to reach for it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Best of 5 series coming up Tuesday, 7 o'clock. It'll start here in Lancaster. Then we get the bonus trip to Texas, I've been calling it. Foul ball to the screen. It seems like we were just there. It was 2 weekends ago. The Barnstormers were at Constellation Field. Two and two. Granite's to the plate, and that's beaten foul. De La Hoz being stubborn. We continue with a 2-2 count. Sugarland still up 1-0 over the Ducks in the bottom of the 3rd. Today is almost like teasing York. Swing and a miss. De La Hoz finally retired by Granite's. Garrett with his 2nd strikeout. Anthony Ray will dig in. He is 0 for 2 on the ground. Defense back with 2 men gone. Granite's to the plate. It's over for a called strike. 0-1. Next delivery. Cycles around the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Melky Mesa did not drive in a run in the 7th inning either. There is a 2nd strike to Ray, 1-2. Galen has the home run crown. David Washington would somehow have to hit 4 to catch him. Washington's a guy who could do it. Line foul by Ray down toward the Road Warriors bullpen. He's still in there battling against Granites here in the top of the 7th inning. But a 4 home run game is an extreme rarity. He's in Sugarland against that pitching staff. I don't see it happening. 1-2. Ray, a chopper. Is going to be a tough play for Granites. Garrett gets there, shovels to first. The out retired 1-3. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. Time for the 7th inning stretch, and then it's going to be time to see what Blake Galen can do leading off the 7th inning. It is Lancaster 11 and the Road Warriors 2.
You can measure the power of the Lexus LS500's twin-turbocharged engine, the responsiveness of its adaptive variable suspension, and the clarity of its available 23-speaker audio system. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling only a Lexus can bring at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, with exceptional offers on our most luxurious models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
So, John, what should the Eagles' focus be this season?
Eagles Fast Play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Eagles Fast Play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Eagles game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits.
Andrew Johnston is the fifth pitcher used by Ellie Rodriguez this afternoon. Johnston, Atlantic League veteran from the St. Louis area. He's been their closer. He is 3-3 with a dozen saves and a 4.88 ERA. Here's Blake Galen. 2 home runs already today, 3 runs batted in. The Johnston pitch, and Galen looks at a ball outside, 1-0. 99 home runs for the 7-year Barnstormer outfielder. Again, this is only the second time he has been in Lancaster for the entire year. Johnston delivers. Here's the 1-0. Galen takes that for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Trayvon Robinson on deck. He scored 3 times in the game. The Barnstormers have put together a double-digit attack for the 3rd game in a row. Luke Westfall, meanwhile, warming up in the Lancaster pen. 2-0. Galen goes for it, but he fouls it back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fernandez-Diaz is back just about on the warning track here. Ball 3 is inside and low. Barnstormers have also drawn 8 walks in this game, on top of the 14 hits that include the 2 Galen home runs. 3-1, and to Blake. He pulls a ground ball. It's bobbled momentarily by Rodriguez-Ortiz. The out will go 4-3. 1 down, Robinson stepping in. Trayvon has walked twice, singled along with striking out, 1 out of 2 with the 3 runs scored. Conrad Gregor waiting on deck. Johnston to the plate. Robinson with a big swing and a miss. Down a strike at his 0-1. Andrew Johnston is a big fella. 6 feet 5 inches tall. He's been with Camden and Sugar Land. Didn't get to stick with the Skeeters this year with the change in management there. Took a job with the Road Warriors. Fly ball left field. Gustavo Pierre camps under this one to make the catch. 2 outs. Conrad Gregor coming in. He's also walked twice and singled, but he's only scored 2 runs. Lined out his first time up. This guy can hit. He's batted safely in every game he's played since joining this ball club. Johnston ready to go to Gregor. A strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Flecha Estacio worked an inning, gave up a hit. Gregor swings and launches one to right field. Back this one goes to the wall, and the walls will not contain it. 2 he's hit this weekend to the backyard by Annie Bailey's. And Lancaster is up by 10. Conrad Gregor goes deep. It's 12-2. Casey Hobson will come to the plate. Hobson is perfect today. 3 for 3. He has knocked in 2 runs. Johnston ready to go, and his breaking ball misses. It is 1-0. 37 Lancaster runs this weekend on 44 hits. My goodness. KC grounds it foul up the line at first. A ball and a strike. The wind is actually still blowing out the left. It hasn't cut down these home runs. Ground ball off the side of the mound. Easy pickup for the shortstop Martinez. He retires Hobson. Then the 7th inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We are through 7. 12-2 Lancaster.
You know how it works. We play a song when the song.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Top of the 8th inning, Luke Westfall checks in for the Barnstormers. Luke threw 2 perfect innings here on Friday night, striking out a pair. Wonder if he's called the guys over in York and said, "Ha, I get to go to the playoffs and you don't." And nobody would be that rude, right? Here is Osvaldo Martinez to start off the 8th inning against him. Westfall as a Barnstormer in his 10th game, 9 hits, 4 runs in 12 innings. He has walked 5, struck out 10. Now Melky Mace is now coming in for the York Revolution. If he hits a 3-run homer, he catches Galen in the RBI column. Anything else, and Blake is going to own it by himself. York leading 3-1. Bottom of the 8th, 2 runners are on ahead of Mesa. Nate Rowe pitching for Somerset. Here Luke Westfall goes back to work. 1-0 pitch, missing inside. Martinez at 2-0. Melvin Rodriguez on deck, and then Edwin Gomez. Road Warriors have 8 hits in the ballgame. Westfall is low. 3 balls, no strikes. And back inside, ball 4. Martinez walks for the second time in the game. He had the only walk given up by Tyrell Harris. Harris gave up 7 hits, 2 runs in 6 innings. Granite's an infield base hit, struck out 2 last frame. Melvin Rodriguez-Ortiz comes in. He is 1 out of 3. 3 double plays turned by the Barnstormers, 2 on the ground and 1 on a bizarre strike him out, throw him out. The throw him out was actually a pickoff by De La Rosa. Ball is outside. Westfall still hasn't put one over the plate. One and nothing. Westfall is inside now, and it's 2-0 to Rodriguez-Ortiz. Lancaster, 6 outs away from the 74th win of the season and the 3rd best record over a season in franchise history. Westfall misses again. He's 3-0 on Rodriguez. 12-2 Lancaster here in the top half of the 8th inning. 3 balls, no strikes. Westfall deals inside. He just can't locate the plate. 8 in a row out of the zone, and Gomez will step in. Gomez is 2 for 3. He has scored a run.
And congratulations.
He had a couple of singles into right field, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground off the starter Harris. Westfall takes an extra second or two to collect his thoughts here. In the dirt. Man, what's going on? Ball 1 to Gomez. Next delivery is low and kicks away from De La Rosa. Martinez to third, Rodriguez to second. But more troubling is that it's 2 balls and no strikes. There's certainly wiggle room here. And time for Ross Peoples to look for Westfall to work out the kinks on his own. Mesa, by the way, drove in 1. The offering missing again. Westfall has been out of the zone with 11 consecutive pitches. Three balls, no strikes, first base open, and there is one in the zone. Gomez takes his 3-1. The windup, Westfall to the plate, and it's smoked into left field, a base hit. It is going to score Martinez. Rodriguez will stop at third base. 12-3 now with runners at first and third and nobody out.
Courtesy of Delta Airlines, the drawing will take place after today's game, and you must be present to win. So hang on to those blue tickets.
Daniel Aldrich will come to the plate. Ross Peoples takes a mound visit. Aldrich went down swinging back in the 6th inning. Plate appearance there against Tyrell Harris. Rodriguez off third, Gomez off first, nobody out. Lancaster gets more action in the bullpen. Westfall drops a beautiful breaking ball in the zone for strike one. Sometimes with a huge lead, it can be a little difficult to focus. Steven Johnson warming up in the pen for the Barnstormers. 0-1, Aldrich chases a pitch in the dirt. That is 2 strikes. Still nobody out in the inning. Fernandez Diaz, switch hitting right fielder, waits on deck. Gomez has had himself a day. 3 out of 4. The pickoff in the 6th inning wasn't pretty, though. No balls and 2 strikes. Aldrich won't go for that one. It is outside, ball 1. 1-2. We're almost 3 hours old in the season finale. To Aldrich, 1-2, swung on and foul tipped, held by De La Rosa. Westfall chalks up a K. Fernandez Diaz stepping in with the runners at first and third. Infield set, double play depth. Westfall seems to have located his compass. There's a grounder out ahead of the plate. Up with it, De La Rosa. He'll fire to first and get the out on Fernandez Diaz, who drives in a run. Rodriguez coming home. It is now 12-4 here in the 8th inning with 2 outs and Gomez ahead to second base. We have seen in this series an inordinate number of those. Balls hit, I would say, less than 20 feet from home plate. Gustavo Pierre, the batter, he slugged the home run back in the 4th, 1 for 3 on the day. It is low. Ball 1-0. Westfall kicks, brings it home, and Pierre looks at another breaking pitch that misses. 2-0. Geraldo Valentin on deck. He's got 2 hits in the game. We've had some exciting season finales over the year. Probably no more so than the first year, 2005. A great electric finish, full house on the Sunday afternoon. Scott Patterson closing out a thrilling win over the Newark Bears, and it just set the stage. That game, that finish, to me, set the stage for what happened in 2006. Ball 4 inside and low. Pierre draws a walk. Valentin will come to the plate. Not Luke Westfall's day. He was brilliant here Friday night. Gomez at second. Pierre, the runner, at first base. Pitch drops into the dirt for a ball on Valentin. It is 1-0. 12-4 here in the 8th inning, and the Road Warriors have designs on drawing a bit closer. Swung on and missed. Westfall coming with the heat. It is 1-1. One ball, one strike. 2 men retired. Valentin with a dribbler foul. Up the line at third. It is 1-2. Westfall just trying to get out of this inning without getting nicked again. Send us to the bottom of the 8th. Perez, De La Rosa, and Garcia are the scheduled hitters. Breaking ball lined toward the middle, through a base hit into center field. Gomez will be waved. On to third goes Pierre Valentin with his third hit of the day. Singles in one more. The Road Warriors with the last gasp of their season, putting together quite a rally here in the 8th inning. 3 runs on the board. It's 12-5, and De La Hoz will come to the plate. He's 1 for 2. On the Major League scoreboard, Red Sox have defeated the Mets this afternoon 4-3, the 103rd win for Boston. Blue Jays slipped past the Yankees 3-2. Well, the Yankees are going to finish second in that division. Outside to De La Hoz, ball 1-0. Orioles are up 7-4 in the top of the 8th at home against the White Sox. Tampa Bay 5-0 over Oakland, top 9. Next pitch, lifted foul and out of play. De La Hoz will bat at 1-1. Tigers beat the Indians today 6-4. That'll hold off the Indians' clinching celebration just a bit. They weren't going to clinch today, but they're not all that far off. And maybe they have. I got to check back to see how many Minnesota's lost. Yeah, I think they have clinched it. Called strike. It is 1-2. Nationals 5 and the Braves 2 in the 7th. Marlins 6, Phillies 2 at the end of 7. Diamondbacks and the Stros knotted at 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pittsburgh 2 and Milwaukee nothing in the 6th. Minnesota and Kansas City today tied at 5 in the 5th inning. Here's a 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. De La Hoz goes down, and Westfall notches his second strikeout. It was a problematic inning, to say the least, for Luke. He gives up 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks. There were no errors, a couple men left, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers lead the Road Warriors by a score of 12-5.
York leading Somerset 3-1 in the 8th inning. Long Island ahead of
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
You can measure the sound of the Lexus LC500's naturally aspirated V8 engine and the quickness of its 10-speed transmission. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus high-performance line at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most exhilarating models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Well, Osvaldo Martinez is going to pitch here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. We'll try and pick up who is where for the Road Warriors defensively. Gustavo Pierre is at shortstop. And I really can't tell who's where defensively, except that Gomez is still at third. Pierre is at short. They've got a new left fielder. I've got no idea who that is. We'll see if we can get an announcement. Meanwhile, Martinez to Steven Perez. It is inside, a ball, 1-0. Not the first time that Osvaldo Martinez has been out there. The 1-0, fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Perez.
These changes for the Road Warriors. Gustavo Pierre now playing shortstop. Daniel Aldridge now playing left field.
Daniel Aldridge is in left field. Martinez on the mound. That would make sense. There we go. Ball 2 is low to Perez. 2 balls and a strike. Need a couple guys to get on base to give Bortnick another chance here in the 8th inning, and maybe Galen as well. Upstairs, Perez batting at 3-1. Andrew Johnston gave up the home run to Gregor last inning. Now to Perez, 3-1. Ball 4 is outside. 3rd straight walk drawn by Steven Perez. The Barnstormers with 9 on the afternoon. Anderson De La Rosa coming to the plate. He is 1 for 4. He has singled home a run. Garcia on deck. Carlos has had himself a nice day. Oh, what a group of guys. One of the reasons you want to win a championship, it is the ultimate in team accomplishment and team bonding. Like one last hurrah for a group of guys that have really become very close over the course of the season. 1-1, the count on De La Rosa here. Steven Perez not held at first base by Geraldo Valentin. 12-5 Lancaster, bottom of the 8th inning. De La Rosa smacks a base hit into center. Perez will move ahead. Carlos Garcia comes to the plate. Lancaster with base hit number 16. Garcia will bat left-handed against Martinez. Runners are at first and second with nobody out. Garcia wraps a grounder foul and nearly wipes out Troy Steffi in the coach's box at first. Troy's played a huge role for Ross pretty much only at home. Troy, full-time staffer at Spooky Nook Sports, but he's helped out Ross on many fronts here and when the team travels to York. Garcia, ground ball, shortstop. This could be 2. Pierre will go to second for 1, and then the throw back to first will not get Carlos. He is safe on the fielder's choice. 6-4 on De La Rosa. Runners are at first and third with 1 out in the inning. Darian Sanford to the plate. He has 2 hits today, 2 out of 4. Amazingly, he is not factored in all his scoring. Barnstormers with Perez at third. Garcia, the runner, at first base. Darian wraps this back to the ground. It's knocked down by Martinez. He's only going to be able to get an out at first. Sanford retired 1-3, but he drives in a run. It is now 13-5. Tyler Bortnick stepping in.
Second baseman Tyler Bortnick.
A couple of things are on the line here. Bortnick's hitting 200 and the 14th run, and everybody getting, for the second time this weekend, free burgers at Fuddruckers for the Barnstormers getting 14 in a ball game. Here's the pitch to Bortnick. It is outside, ball 1. Bortnick is 1 for 5. His average is stuck at 199. With everything this man has done this year. Strike on the outside corner to get the 1-1. And then you've got Galen. And who knows? Does he get one more shot? Ball 2 is outside and low to Bordy. It is 2-1. "66 walks drawn by Bortnick this year. Martinez comes back, 2-1 pitch. Ball 3 is low. 3 balls and a strike. Sanford just drove in his 35th run of the season. And to Bortnick. Oh, he's going to get the walk. Ball 4, high and outside. Ties a season high with 10 bases on balls. Picked up by the Barnstormers. And now Galen gets another shot. Blake is 3 for 5 with 2 homers, 3 runs batted in. York did blow it open, by the way. 6-1. Revs leading. To Galen. First pitch strike from Osvaldo Martinez. 0-1. Mesa with 1 run batted in. So Blake is going to win the home run and the RBI titles. Breaking ball misses. 1-1 to Blake Galen. 99 home runs here in the Atlantic League in his pocket. He gets one last shot at reaching 100 at least in this season. Breaking ball, a strike, it's 1-2. Garcia, the runner at second base. Bortnick is on at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Barnstormer DH. Martinez ready to go. The pitch, sidearm delivery, and it's grounded to the second baseman. Rodriguez will throw out Galen. The fans are upset because they come up 1 run short of that 14th marker this inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. And the Barnstormers leave 2. We'll go to the 9th inning. It is Lancaster 13 and the Road Warriors 5.
To win. We also have another lucky.
The area's most unique beer fest is coming to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Sunday, September 9th during the Barnstormers game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That afternoon, samples from over 20 local breweries will be made available throughout the right field hospitality areas. Souvenir pint and sample glasses and a Broken Bat hat will go to everyone buying a ticket. VIP tickets are available for early entry and limited releases. For more information, go to www.lancasterbarnstormers.com.
So, John, what should the Steelers' focus be this season?
Steelers fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Steelers fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Steelers game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. Steven Johnson to wrap up today and the regular season for the Barnstormers. Luke Westfall, kind of a down day in the 8th inning, but he got through it after missing with his first 10 pitches. That's just going to get you in trouble. He ended up allowing 3 runs there. Anthony Ray leads off against Johnson here in the 9th, with the Barnstormers leading 13-5. Third straight lopsided game against the Road Warriors here this weekend. Games that do not matter. The Barnstormers' playoff spot was already secured back on Wednesday. On the way home from New Britain, a ball is low to Ray, 1-0. Johnson 3-0 with a 3 ERA for the season. Here's his 1-0 pitch. That explodes inside, and Ray is batting 2 balls and no strikes. It looks very possible that York technically would have the 4th best overall record in the league and not go to the playoffs simply because they had the tiebreaker with Long Island at the second level of tiebreakers. 2 balls and a strike, but ultimately they were deadlocked at 9, and it would have been a dead heat for 4th. In most old-fashioned scenarios, they called the Shaughnessy system. York and Long Island would be playing tomorrow, or once Long Island got back from Sugar Land, a 1-game play-in, as they would tie for the 4th best record overall the way things look. The Barnstormers are going to finish 2nd. In on the hands, it's fouled back by Ray. We continue at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster, again, technically was 2nd last year. It tied with Bridgeport. Bridgeport would have had the tiebreaker. The Bluefish won the season series. And then Lancaster 2nd overall this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball stays well off the plate to the outside, 3-2. So Ross Peoples has done himself a mighty fine job these 2 years. Payoff pitch. Johnson deals. That's foul tipped and held by De La Rosa. 7th strikeout of the day for Barnstormers pitching. And here's Osvaldo Martinez, who is the pitcher for the Road Warriors. 0 for 2 with a couple of walks today for Martinez. He has scored a run. This guy's had a nice finish. Good-looking player. I expect to see him in an Atlantic League uniform somewhere next year. If nothing else, High Point, they're going to need players down there. Fastball for strike. It is 0-1. I have absolutely no idea how they're going to be set up, because it's not like Frank Bolton and Peter Kirk had a hand in so many of the franchises in this league, and they had people on hand who had worked in this league before and knew how to build a team. High Point is going to be its own entity down there, and suppose it's going to be an incredible setup from everything I've heard. And not everything may be in place the first season, but by the second year, the entire district around BB&T Point Ballpark. But there's the 0-2 pitch. Weak ground ball up the third base line, scooting foul on Conrad Greger. Still 0-2 on Osvaldo Martinez. Melvin Rodriguez, the second baseman, is on deck. So I don't know who's going to be running the show on the baseball end of things down there. Martinez bats at 0-2 against Johnson. And that's going to be, I think, fun to watch. Will they find a veteran Atlantic League person to operate on the baseball side? The name Luis Rodriguez has been brought up. The Bridgeport manager the last couple of years. He's a very baseball savvy man, but certainly not a known entity. Doesn't have a major league background. Longtime minor league receiver, longtime Atlantic League catcher before switching over to the coaching and managing side in Bridgeport. Swing and a miss. Down goes Martinez. There's 1 out left of the season. Melvin Rodriguez will try and keep the Road Warriors together for another minute or two. Two outs and the base is empty here in the 9th inning. Or you may want somebody who is known in that part of the country to establish credibility right away. There's a ball parked deep to left center field. Sanford can't get there. Rodriguez Ortiz is going to race into second and stop there with a double. Display of power by Melvin Rodriguez, and it caught Sanford a little bit by surprise. That ball was nailed a long way to left center. 2 outs, runner in scoring position, and the batter is the third baseman, Edwin Gomez, who has a shot here at a 4-hit day. The last opposing player to pick up 4 hits in a game against the Barnstormers was Lou Ford, but he shouldn't count. Well, he did it on the 29th of August, but Lou Ford's always going to do something like that. Before that, August 1st, 2 different Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Swing and a miss. It is 0-1 on Gomez. John Griffin had 4 hits in the first game of that doubleheader, and Teodoro Martinez had 4 hits in the second game of that doubleheader. No balls, 1 strike to Gomez. Rodriguez leads off second. Ground ball pulled foul past the first base coach's box. It's 0-2. Barnstormers 13 and the Road Warriors 5. The Road Warriors have had a nice day offensively. Some of their pitchers had trouble throwing strikes. The day was set up when Andres Caceres, who's awfully tough on the Barnstormers, had to leave after 1 inning. Here's the 0-2. Ball is outside and low. The season is still not over. It is over in York. The Revs beat Somerset 6-1. Somerset heading to Central Islip to take on the Ducks in Game 1 on Tuesday. There's the end of the season. A swing and a miss. Gomez has gone on strikes, and it is wrapped up. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left for the Road Warriors in the top half of the 9th inning, and thus ends the 14th regular season of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. And it's a great ride for the Barnstormers. It will continue on Tuesday night with Game 1 of the playoffs. For the Road Warriors, the end of the road has come, and while I'm sure that those players are exhausted and probably ready to get home, I can only hope that 2018 and spending 21 weeks traveling on a bus will bring some fond memories and some lasting relationships. The line totals will be coming your way in just a moment. Our final score in the season finale, the Lancaster Barnstormers 13 and the Road Warriors 5.
You can measure the exceptional torque of the Lexus LX and the capability of its full-time four-wheel drive. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus line of SUVs at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most capable models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments in honor of the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
hope I see you a week from Tuesday.
30 seconds, all right.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Lancaster Barnstormers victorious in the season finale. They will finish officially second in the second half with the tiebreaker over the York Revolution, second in the first half, and for the league, second overall here in 2018. I was just talking with league president Rick White about the juggernaut down in Sugar Land, Texas, and that will be the first round opponent for the Lancaster Barnstormers. But Lancaster has shown here in the second half that they can deal with that Sugar Land Ball Club. The Barnstormers won 5 out of 9 in the second half against Sugar Land, including the split of the 4-game series on their turf a couple of weekends ago. This is likely to be a battle. I am kind of expecting a 5-game series between the Barnstormers and the Skeeters. More about that in a little bit. The Barnstormers winning today 13-5, 13 runs, 16 hits, no errors, 11 left. And for the Road Warriors, 5 runs on 11 hits with 2 errors. The Road Warriors leave 7. Tyrell Harris with the quality start, and the win today is 2-1. The loss going to Julio DePaula. He falls to 1-5 on the season. Home runs in the ball game, 2 for Blake Galen. His 27th and 28th of the year. He is going to win the home run and the RBI titles here in the Atlantic League. 28 home runs, 91 runs batted in. He'll beat Melky Mesa by 2 in the RBI column. David Washington would have to do the almost unthinkable to catch him in home runs. They're 4 innings into that game, and Long Island has not scored, which means Washington likely to have had an at-bat or 2 without hitting one out, and he needs 4. The Barnstormers today did not have a save. 3 hours, 19 minutes, the time of our game, 46:02 here on Fan Appreciation Day as the 2018 regular season comes to a close. The curtain, though, does not come down on Clipper Magazine Stadium. We've got more business, and since the Barnstormers did not get to celebrate winning the wild card spot, it happened in bizarre circumstances the other night, the middle of the night just about, with the Barnstormers riding the bus back home through Western Connecticut. This ball club wants to be able to celebrate something, and they'll have their next chance if they can take the mighty Sugar Land Skeeters in that best-of-5 series. It would be fun times in Texas next weekend. The Barnstormers and the Road Warriors conclude this 3-game series. We'll have the wrap-up show to follow here on the Lancaster Barnstormers Radio Network.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Now, we're not going to be able to get through the entire description of this ball game in any kind of succinct manner. The Barnstormers with the 13-5 victory today. The offense held off until the 3rd inning. Tyler Bortnick driving in the first run, singling home Carlos Garcia. And the rest of the inning was kind of messy. A second run scored on a double steal play. Blake Galen, the trailer, was thrown out, but Bortnick was able to come home from third before they could relay back to the plate. 3 walks in a row were served to Robinson, Greger, and Hobson, and then Steven Perez hit a ground ball to Geraldo Valentin at first base. He fumbled that. 2 runs across on the error, and it was 4-0 in the next inning. The Barnstormers had 2 outs, and Garcia at second base when Blake Galen slammed his 27th home run of the year, extending the lead to 6-0. Singles by Robinson, Greger, and Hobson produced another run for a 7-0 lead. Gustavo Pierre had hit a 2-run home run. It was actually 7-2, Pierre's home run in the top half of the fourth, his 14th of the year. We forgot to mention that. And Connor Greger hit one later on, his second home run of the season. 4 more runs for the Barnstormers in the 6th. Galen led it off with a home run. RBI singles by Hobson and De La Rosa, a sacrifice fly for Garcia. Greger's home run in the 7th inning, and an RBI ground out for Darian Sanford in the 8th. The Road Warriors did strike for 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning. A couple of walks started off. Edwin Gomez single home 1 run, a second scored on a tapper out in front of the plate by Fernandez Diaz, and Geraldo Valentin drove in the Road Warriors' 5th run of the day with a single into center field. The Barnstormers victorious this afternoon. Our final score 13-5 in the last tune-up before the 2018 Atlantic League playoffs. In the rest of the games around the Atlantic League, we mentioned 6-1, the York Revolution over the Somerset Patriots. The Long Island Ducks and the Sugarland Skeeters are tied at 3. They're in the 6th inning, and they just don't want to give up on the season. The New Britain Bees and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs will be going home, but they're in extras. New Britain 2, Southern Maryland 2 in the bottom half of the 10th inning. In Major League Baseball today, we'll get that going here momentarily. And maybe I won't. Well, that is not coming up. I'll try it again here. I was trying to get back to it. We're looking at the NFL scores, and I'm not a happy man. But in baseball, the Nationals lead the Braves 5-4, bottom of the 8th inning. Marlins are up 6-2 over the Phillies. That has moved into the bottom half of the 9th. Baltimore beats the White Sox today 8-4. The Astros now up 4-1 over the fading Diamondbacks. That is the bottom half of the 7th inning. Pittsburgh with a 2-0 edge on the Milwaukee Brewers in the top half of the 8th. Minnesota 7-5 over Kansas City in the 7th. The Cincinnati Reds leading the Chicago Cubs 2-1 at the end of 7. Colorado an early 3-0 lead over San Francisco. That's through an inning and a half out by the Bay. Bottom half of the 2nd inning in Anaheim, no score. The Mariners and the Angels. Also in the 2nd inning, the Rangers and the Padres are knotted at 1. Blue Jays have defeated the Yankees today 3-2. Red Sox over the Mets 4-3. Tigers beat the Indians 6-4. Tampa Bay held off a late charge by Oakland. The Rays winning 5-4 was the final. And tonight on national cable, it is the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The Dodgers fighting the Cardinals for the 2nd wild card spot, and or the Colorado Rockies for control of the NL West. The regular season is done, but there's more baseball to come here at Clipper Magazine Stadium Tuesday night. The Barnstormers and the Sugarland Skeeters. Game 1 of the Best of 5 series. Nate Reed is on the hill for the Barnstormers. The odds-on favorite to be Atlantic League Pitcher of the Year, finishing with a record of 13-3 and a 2.75 earned run average. Keep this in mind. Every other year, the Barnstormers have had more than one 10-game winner. They have reached the finals here in the Atlantic League. It happened in 2006, Denny Harriger and Brian Whitaker. In 2012, when we had Dwayne Pollock, John Halama, J.D. Durbin, and Alan Johnson all win double digits. And then in 2014, it was Chris Schwinden and Dan Osterbrock, each in double figures. Well, this is the 4th time that the Barnstormers have had 2 different pitchers get the 10 wins. This year, it was Nate Reed and Brooks Hall. Will that bring a 4th trip to the finals? We hope that that pattern continues for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Be sure you're here on Tuesday night. If you can't physically be at Clipper Magazine Stadium, we ask you to join us here on the Barnstormers YouTube channel for Game 1 as the Lancaster Barnstormers host the Sugarland Skeeters. A trip to the finals is going to be on the line. Sugarland and the Barnstormers meeting for the second time in the playoffs. And if you know anything about Barnstormers history, you know what happened the last time. The Barnstormers with the 3-game sweep to win the Atlantic League Championship back in 2014. The winner of that series will move on to play the winner of the Somerset Patriots and the Long Island Ducks. And we do know that if the Barnstormers beat Sugarland, we'll have games 1 and 2 of the championship series on Tuesday the 25th and Wednesday the 26th before moving up north to conclude the postseason. Join us here on Tuesday. Until then, for all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Thank you once again, everybody. And on Tuesday night, we'll see you at the ballpark.